morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. It's a beautiful, brand new day, and I must say, I'm excited to be alive this morning. Here, we give you the latest headlines and all the news making waves across the country, from politics to business, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. We feed you with the most relevant news and incisive perspective and opinions with regards to our headlines. As usual, I am your host, Esna Fiagbedu, and I have here with me my amazing panelists, Regina Bless and Omari. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great. What of you?
I'm fine. Hope you slept well, though.
I did sleep well.
Oh.
Wouldn't complain.
Yeah, the hustle is real.
Yeah, I know,
We are back
right?
again at another morning. Yeah, we are grateful to be alive. Yeah, so tomorrow, God willing, is 6th March. It's 6th March, and this for the first time, we are not going to be held. Not let me say for the first time. So it's not going to be held at the Independence Square, or it's not going to be at any region. But this time around, it's going to be happening at the Jubilee House. What do you think?
I would say that, first of all, I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but it's a good thing altogether, because celebrating our Independence Day every 6th of March. We gained independence 1957. And since that 1957, we are now, is it 69 or 68 years? 68 years. It's like we don't understand the meaning of independence. To be independent, you rely on your own.
Yeah.
You do not rely on other people. Whatever you do by yourself. Whether going through hardship and all of that, you go through by yourself. You don't go out to seek help from other people. Even if you would seek help, the help should come from within that same country. But this is the case where we go out each and every time to, should I say, ask for alms, to beg for money. So how is that independence? So I feel say it's high time this celebration is scrapped forever and ever. Because first of all, we are wasting Ghana's money. The little money we have, we use it in the same celebration which we claim we are independent.
Okay.
And also to John Dramani Mahama, I feel what he did for moving the 6th March celebration from all regions as Nanado initiated. Now he has taken it upon himself to take that off and also take it away from the Black Star House. Is it Black Star Square? Yeah, to take it away from there and bring it to the seat of parliament, which is the Jubilee House. And his main purpose is to cut down costs. Because right now, looking at the economy, trust me, now the dollar is 8 to this something pesos.
I learned that was a mistake.
Oh,
it was a technical hitch from Google.
Oh,
so it's back to 15 cedis.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I don't feel
How for you? It is what.
And
it
is.
Oh, I know, right? I was so excited when I saw that the dollar was 8 Ghana cedis.
But definitely, it would still reduce.
Yeah,
it would reduce. It would reduce.
8 Ghana cedis.
Yeah. So with this initiative set by our president from cutting down costs in there, it's a very, very, very good thing, because at this era in our lives, we can't afford to even waste a peso. We can't afford to even waste a dime, because there are lots of uncompleted projects he's supposed to see to it that all these projects are being completed. And once again, the Independence Day, they should stop it until they believe within themselves that they are 100% independent. Because there is no way I'll say that I'm an independent woman What do an independent woman do?
They don't rely
on anyone. So how would I be relying on a man and still call myself an independent woman? Does it even make sense? It doesn't make sense. It is not written anywhere. We are rather making a mockery of ourselves.
But people are actually bashing the president that they haven't. Some people haven't got to have the privilege to experience what Independence Day is like. And now that he's taking it to the Jubilee House, how are people going to experience it? I don't know if you remember some time back we went for reports and asking people's opinion about the president moving the independence celebration to the Jubilee House. And then some people were complaining. We had some comments that why would he move it to the Jubilee House? That place is small and it's not going to accommodate everybody. Does that mean that we have to sit in our house and watch it on television? Because not everybody has been able to experience what the Independence Day celebration is like. And now you're moving it to the Flagstaff Square. But President John Dramani Mahama has come out to tell us that has actually given a concrete reason for moving the Independence Day celebration from the Independence Square or various regions to the Jubilee House simply to cut costs. And I think that is a very concrete reason if that is indeed why he had to move the Independence Day celebration to the Jubilee House. And I think people had to come together and then buy into this suggestion.
With that cutting down cost, I think every concerned Ghanaian citizen should be very happy with this because I'm not saying our past president was incompetent, but for we to have a leader who thinks about Ghanaians, who even thinks that the economy is not stabilized at this moment, so why should we even hold a very huge independence celebration? And also to answer to your question where people are not in support with John Dramani Mahama taking the Independence Day celebration from the big square place where everyone can have access to it. For how many years now have Independence Day celebration been going on? For how many years now? What else do you want to know about this independence that it hasn't been done the previous years? It is a special occasion, but what is so special about it, especially considering the fact that we are not independent? It is just a name, a self-acclaimed name, not even gained.
People are even saying that we shouldn't even celebrate independence.
Yes,
but is it only Ghanaians only here in Ghana that we make it such a big deal?
Yes.
And then go the extra mile to do all these events, planning, decoration, and all of that?
It is only Ghanaians, my dear. It is only Ghanaians.
Because
I've seen... Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
I've seen Nigerians celebrate their Independence Day, and do you know what they only do? The only thing I see around flying is flyers.
They are flyers on
social
media.
You wouldn't see on X, Instagram, or anywhere where videos are flying about with huge celebrations. See, it's high time the government and Ghanaian. I always say that Ghanaians are the first government before the people we elected to represent us. These people, they don't think about us.
But what do you think? What are some of the benefits of celebrating the independence?
Nothing. There is no benefit in celebrating the independence because we are not independent. Or you think I'm just talking?
Oh no. But I just want to know the benefits of is it to show to people that Ghana is truly an independent
country? We are just
country,
making a mockery out of ourselves.
Go out there to borrow money. Oh
yeah,
that's quite sad. But I'm excited about the Independence Day celebration, God willing, tomorrow, which will be happening at the Jubilee House. So it's the first of its kind, and let's see how it's go. If it's going to be the normal trend that no Independence Day celebration at the big venues, but it will happen strictly at the Jubilee House. So that was just some kind of interaction I just had with Miss Regina Bliss about the Independence Day celebration, which will be happening tomorrow. So now let's dive into our headlines for today. Agenda 111 project. operationalization incumbent on sitting government, Dr. Anthony Asare. Former presidential advisor on health under the former Akufo-Addo administration, Dr. Anthony Asare has said it is the government's responsibility to look for resources to operationalize the commissioned hospitals under the Agenda 111 project. His comments comes after the health minister, Kwabena Minta, told journalists on Tuesday that civil works on 3 of the Agenda 111 projects commissioned under the Akufo-Addo government are yet to be completed, as they are below 95% done. Speaking in an interview, Dr. Asare explained that the commissioned hospital at their current stages can be fully operationalized while the government adds equipment and staff later. These are his words. A hospital that they have agreed is 95% done, according to what they are saying, can be commissioned and even operationalized. The OPD and other things can be used while you add on. When the laboratories and the OPD equipment and other things are there, people can go there. Well, I find this very sad. If a hospital is being commissioned, I believe that it should be working. It should
start running. Yeah.
But how can you tell me that it's not 100% done yet? It is 90% done, and then equipment in the lab and the labs are not there, and then there are no staffs to treat the people, and then you are telling me that people can start going there. Assuming you are supposed to take care of somebody, and then you are expected to bring an equipment, and that equipment is not available at that instant at the hospital. How does it work? How do you commission a partially done or a partially completed hospital?
Yeah.
How is it going to be in operation?
So the Agenda 111 initiative, launched under our past administration, ex-president Akufo-Addo, aimed to combat 111 district and specialized hospitals across Ghana to enhance healthcare access, where $400 million was allocated to this project. As at now, they need almost $1.something billion to complete all this project. With what you are saying, it's like our past president, he has this habit of commissioning uncompleted projects, but to make it seem like it is completed. I'll use the circle interchange for example.
Okay.
He commissioned it phase 1, phase 2 of it. We thought it was completed. Kwata. We went there for a report, and the constructors there refused us in making a report. The moment they saw the camera, they refused us in making a report. They were still working on that same commission project. So why would you commission a health facility? And even with that, the roads leading to that healthcare facility is not even good. With just one hospital bed in it, for what exactly? Sikanomo de yeding. Unless Madam Omari answers this question.
Maybe you will be the better person to give us a reply to this.
Well, good morning to our cherished listeners this morning. I mean, I don't know where to begin with from this particular statement made by
the Agenda 111.
Because it seems as a country we don't really understand or respect health. The Agenda 111 project was in regards to the COVID, which happened here. And look at the funds we've already allocated to the Agenda 111. And up till now, in fact, we saw them campaigning prior to the elections, 2024 elections, that they've commissioned some projects. The Agenda 111 is about 70%, almost 70% of it are operationalized, and this and that. And then we go there, and it's an eyesore. And you can boldly come and say that it's the responsibility of the new government to, I mean, no shame.
Such impetus.
No shame. We've allocated $400 million to this project, and we have none in operation. The new Minister of Health said that it's not even up to 90%. And you're also saying that they even agree that it's about 95%. Even if it's a drop of percentage left, which is 1%, it's not complete. We are talking about health. The single thing missing at a health facility can lead to somebody's demise.
Yeah. Just even a bed.
And look, I was even thinking, let's say you want to build 111. That 400 million that you've started all this 111 with none being complete. Use it to complete just about 20, which can be fully operationalized. We will understand that. At least nurses we understand that. But to have none, and now we are soliciting for funds about 1.7 billion to complete it, and you are boldly saying it is the responsibility of the new. You shouldn't make any excuses. Really, these people don't regard the Ghanaian citizen. They think everything is between NPP and NDC. Everything is partisan. Enti me party abeya also party ababeye. With no respect or regard to the people they are actually serving, the Ghanaian citizen. It's a shame. That statement is a shame.
A big shame.
A very big shame to the entire NPP government.
I don't know if they don't understand the word operationalize. If they say something is in operation, what do they
working?
We can fact check them. How many people in their party swore on their lives that the Agenda 111 is in operation? We can fact check them.
Yeah, I think I saw a video
from June to December last year.
Yeah,
all of them were saying it. One of their health advocates for their party, one Dr. Mwakwa something.
Insia Asari.
Not her. Not him. Yeah. She, loud mouth. I watched on so many platforms.
And Nasafo as well. To the extent that the media had to go there and see if it's really true that and they went, and then the videos are out, and we can all attest the fact that these hospitals are not working.
We are not cutting any party slack anymore. We need to fire these people.
Oh yes.
It is health we are talking about.
Yeah. These are the lives of people.
And they all agree that is not. Who agree? You 90. Think the country is for NDC and
95.
NPP? What NDC agrees has nothing to do with us as citizens. If they agree for their own political ambitions. It's a shame.
Very.
Our leaders need to set up. And if the NDC is listening to us, and some of these things, which is why we voted the NPP out.
Yeah.
If they come to also repeat it, they'll be voted out without the 4 years even being completed.
Hey,
bro.
Okay, so I just saw an article that was yesterday. It came out. Dismissal of health workers halted operationalization of Agenda 111 hospitals. That is the former presidential advisor on health, Dr. Anthony Insia Asari.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say that the Agenda 111, some of the hospitals were ready to be run by these nurses, But because the Mahama administration sacked all these nurses, they said they employed about, if I'm not mistaken, 15,200 nurses.
Charlie.
This is the
when did they employ them? When was the employment made?
I think it was made before 7 December and before the election took place.
You've had $400 million since 2021. Do you know how long they told us that Janawan was going to be in completion? And we're in 2025.
2025.
You couldn't employ because as of now, we are still sitting here and we haven't seen a single hospital. I don't even call it an hospital. Let's be honest. A hospital is what we see at Rage, at UGMC, Kolebu 37. That is hospital.
So according
these are clinics.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
These are clinics.
When I even saw the buildings, I was like, is this the hospital they are talking about? Because it looks like someone's flat.
And if care is not taken, the people are going to invade that side, the building, going to use it for their own thing. After like Shesomami. Yeah. That's how it's going to be like if care is not taken.
You employed. Okay, the nurses should come out and tell us
if
that
willing to work in an hospital.
What are they going to work with? There's no bed there.
Only one bed. Only one bed. And even the roads leading to these facilities.
Oh man.
Okay. Let's move
on. I'm really sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
It's not enough.
No,
it's not enough.
Because if we continue,
it's like we are toying with people's lives.
Yeah, we are actually joking with people's life. Assuming you are in a surgery room and then your nurse comes to tell you that this equipment is not there.
It's not there.
How is it that?
No.
All right, moving on to our next headline. Amwako Hene inaugurates 17-member committee to revive Kumawood. The Asante Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwako Hene, has inaugurated a 17-minister ministerial committee tasked with revitalizing the region's declining film industry, popularly known as Kumawood. With Kumawood facing a downturn in recent years, the committee has been charged with developing a strategic framework to rejuvenate the industry and create sustainable employment opportunities for industry players. The committee comprises representatives from various sectors of the film industry, including veteran actors Ohiniyi Mercy Esiedu and Bell Asamoah. It will be chaired by Bishop Ofori Edu. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday, March 4th, Dr. Frank urged the members to remain united and dedicated to their mandate, emphasizing the importance of teamwork in achieving their objectives. But is it necessary for this 17-member committee? Because we've had
this like the 1,000 committee
they've set up
because we are actually getting tired of this committee 17 committee to revive Kumawood. After you are resurrecting the dead body. I'm sorry, but
it needs incantations and chants from these people before this thing can be revived. Because
we have a film authority, the GFA, Ghana Film Authority.
Yeah.
Embodies the entire movie industry in Ghana. Why is Kumawood alone setting up a committee?
Kumawood alone.
So does it mean the GFA is not interested in it? Maybe the GFA is not putting in any steps to make sure that this Kumawood is revived. So they are taking it upon themselves to.
We just had a GFA 17. Kumawood Nankasa actors
saying
17 members. And he's saying that this is going to create jobs for people, and I'm wondering how this is going to create jobs for people.
Oh yeah,
the industry itself is vast. It can accommodate so many. When you look at the videographers, the sound, industry need a bit creatives.
A lot.
The main problem is not being tackled. Whatever Doctor who
Amwako
is baseless.
It's baseless. No actions.
Oh yeah, you can't. Now you will be try video bridge be able and he drew his attention within the next 2-3 hours. He was there. He called the minister for roads. He also came. I think they are trying to resolve that issue.
It's even been closed.
That is fine. This one is not fine.
It's a no.
It's a no.
Oh yes.
17 members.
I mean,
that's a lot of people.
Is the committee even needed?
I think with this they can even collaborate with the GFA.
What collaboration is the GFA is there for the movie industry? Kumawood and movie industry.
It's part.
So what is this? Why is everyone trying to champion something to make a name for themselves? Like, I don't get it.
That is another set of money these people will be throwing away.
So under whose budget is this committee going to
budget?
Maybe he's going to pay them from his
pocket. Maybe his personal money.
This shouldn't come from the taxpayers.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't have a problem. It still doesn't make the committee is unreasonable.
Relevant, let me say.
Okay, the right way is irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
So you think it's not relevant?
I don't think it's relevant.
It's relevant to have a 17 committee to
member
revive the Kumawood industry. But I thought you guys were lovers of the Kumawood.
We are lovers of Kumawood, but 17 committee.
I'm not a lover of Kumawood.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you see, sometimes honestly, they play too much.
Exactly.
Seriously, I feel they play too much.
Exactly. Like we need storylines which resonate with something. I mean, our culture. You can pick 9-10 movies from the Kumawood section, and 9 of them has no story structure.
No.
80% of their communication is insults. What is this?
Yes. And what do you expect?
Everyone is trying to be funny. Everyone is trying to be
but you are not funny. Honestly, they are not funny.
What is all this? Let's be serious. Let's be serious. Now you are a committee for what? What are they reviving? What are the challenges of the Kumawood? Let's say yes, they feel like they are a certain portion of the movie industry. Fine, you are still under the movie industry. So the best thing to do is that you feel like these are your challenges. You sit with the new appointed secretary to the GFA. This and this is what we think will help this side of the industry. For all you know, that same structure might be needed for the other people who think they are the elites, who are not part of the Kumawood. Into movie more association and more authority.
Gallywood committee.
I mean,
if James Ghana also comes and be like Gallywood committee.
So the Kumawood, they feel like the Kumawood is only for Ashanti region. Is that what they are saying?
Yeah, now that is how it looks like.
So it's only for Ashanti region.
For the local people.
See.
Before I want to no. Yeah, now that's how they make the Kumawood.
And your Munjama Kumasi for moving us Muchana Kumasi from
So you see, if they are moving with this kind of perception, the problem is them. It's not anyone. For you to limit yourself, even limiting yourself to just Kumasi, it's a huge flaw.
The problem is definitely from the Kumawood. Yeah.
And I think the GFA should step in. They shouldn't allow these things to go on. You are the GFA, Kumawood, Fanti Wood, Wine Wood. They are all under you. Yes.
Because
plywood. What?
The reason why I feel it's their fault or the issue is from them is because I feel that these people were stuck to their old ways of producing movies, where when you produce movies, it's being sent to, is it transferred to a Dix or how is it called? CD. When let me use Nigeria for example. These people always upload movies on YouTube, Netflix, Show Prime, a lot.
How many Ghanaian movies are?
No. How many? And did they even modernize themselves when this thing came? They were stuck to their old way, the old-fashioned way.
think a lot of work needs to be put.
A
whole lot. I mean, their storylines alone. It's
bomb.
The NFA should come together with this Kumawood people and see the way forward. Because 17-member committee there,
awesome. And now, be a budget base at 6,000,
10,000. Of course, I budget at 10,13. I budget
and a committee, and one day so no muko.
Hey,
one day.
The number of times we'll be going maybe in a week or a month, and then yearly. I'm just hoping this, anyways. If they are working and we are seeing it, that's fine. Moving on to our next headline: Public officers' corset. What have I said? Public officers' assets declaration must be verified. This is from Dr. Akwete. Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, Executive Director of the Institute for Democratic Governance, has stressed the need for strict mechanisms to verify the declared assets of public officers to enhance transparency and accountability in governance. Speaking at the National Economic Dialogue, Dr. Akwete commended President John Dramani Mahama for setting an example by publicly declaring his assets. However, he emphasized that assets declaration actions and called for a verification process to be conducted by the Attorney General. But how are they going to verify the assets? Is there a way they do that? Because me coming to give you the documents alone is not sufficient or evidence that I owe this, or maybe I left this out. There should be a way they should verify that indeed what you put on paper is actually true, that this is what you have as your assets.
For me, I think that what the man says is true. Just
Very
saying
true.
this is what I have is not enough. We need to verify it to be sure. So if you presented me with a document of a hotel, 3 companies and 5 cars, I need to be there, see the
check.
cars, check everything. If it's
as stated in the document.
That's fine. I get that. But then they should be left to those in charge of auditing these assets. Somebody's assets shouldn't be made public to us citizens. It shouldn't be. For that one, I don't think I support that. Any crab about me?
True.
Auntie, I go on. I say no whisker.
I think that should be private.
It should be private. I mean, leave it to the auditors. If they find any faults, they deal with the person. But we as people, we don't need to know that. They don't have idea of what we own. So why should we have an idea of what they own? That's
we are not
it is called a private property for a reason.
I think it should be done.
It should be done privately. And with this, it's a very good step, because with these ministers and MPs, these people are doing a whole lot with our money. So if these assets are not being checked, verified, make sure whatever presented on these documents goes according to what you have. You have 5 bedrooms, fine, that is the only property we know. Being in power for let's say 2 years, then all of a sudden, boom, you have another 5 property attached to it. Whose money? Whose money did you use for that? Obviously, it's government money, it's taxpayers' money you are using for that. And also, I always say this and I'll say it again. If you are really innocent, if you do not have a corrupt mindset, you shouldn't find it difficult to bring forward your assets, what you have. And also, there's no need for you to hide some of your assets. If it was gained or obtained in a right and genuine way, because they're not just going there to make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the asset you have. You will be investigated. The money you have in your bank account, but I know that definitely they would they will inquire where you got the money from, how you got this money, what revenue did you get this money from, and a whole lot.
How you attain that money. I think all of that should be looked into.
Okay.
So, NPA projects fuel price drop amid falling crude oil prices. The National Petroleum Authority has projected a drop in fuel prices by mid-March 2025 due to a 2.03% decline in crude oil prices and a slight depreciation of the cedi. The decrease, driven by global market uncertainties, provide relief to consumers and businesses dependent on petroleum products. If current trends continue, fuel prices at the pump may see slight reduction in the coming weeks. I think that's a relief for we all, because if fuel prices go down, definitely prices on products in the market will also go down. And you have to open market because now some people also, I think they import tomatoes from Burkina Faso, and true. People complain about the transportation prices and all of that. So I think this is a good news for both the drivers and we consumers as well, and anybody related to petroleum.
It is a very good news, but the problem is, would these drivers adhere to that? Because sometimes specifically what say, with transportation, you're 2 cedis, 3 cedis, 4 cedis. But got to make him a man who be so many 10 cedis. This is how the man no yembe show. Maybe some Rebecca say, won't take some to petrol. And so no moon to me. So the drivers are also a contributing factor to this. The government will do the possible best to make sure, say, the petrol, diesel, and all that is decreased. But our drivers,
are they really going to
adhere to that?
Yes. As well.
Well, I think that's not something we should be expecting from the drivers to reduce
the transportation.
They would rather increase it.
No, for the best they can do is not to increase it. But to reduce it from where it is now. It's never going to happen. I've never seen it happen in Ghana before. And that's why we need price regulation. I mean, because all these things should be managed by a particular regulator. That this time around, fuel prices has come up, so we are also increasing the transportation fares and other products. This time it has dropped, so we are also dropping in our pricing. That's the best way to go. But if fuel goes up, you increase it. It goes down, you don't decrease it. That's a cheat code to the consumer as well. So we really need to look into that. We need to look into that.
That will really help us.
But I mean, it's a great call, I mean, fuel has been one of the most excruciating concerns to most consumers and all that. So if we are seeing crude oil dropping in pricing and it's having an impact on us as a country, it's a great thing.
I think it's a great thing.
It's a great thing. And I want to commend the minister for coming out to give us this information. Because but they particularly stated that it's because of the drop in international markets. So the NDC is trying well with transparency.
I think they are being transparent with us. And I think communication is the key.
I was about to ask it, like, how have you seen their communication ever since they came to power?
I think it's been good so far. And then, so with this one, is a two-way. It goes and then it comes. So, as the president says, he's going to be a listening president. If he communicates to us, we also send our feedback, and I think with that, they are doing well. They are being transparent, honestly.
This is how it should always be.
They are data and everything.
And they don't sit there and assume that we know. At least communication is key.
Fellow Ghanaians.
I think one thing that really makes some of these things not so difficult to do is when you don't really have anything to hide.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
that's
see,
true.
if you always come out, fans so much I see baby no more the aba na ye hwe na ye no kre na ye hwe ampa we no kre e be do time bi omo de ba na ye no kre kra ye ncheke
I check.
because we feel like we more be kind there
but it's our responsibility to also go and check.
We need to fact check this people.
Very important. So on our last news headlines, governments will implement key policy recommendations from economic dialogue. The government has reaffirmed its commitment to structural reforms and private sector-driven growth, pledging to implement key policy recommendations from the 2025 National Economic Dialogue. The two-day dialogue, which centered on 6 priority areas, including microeconomic stability, outlined a strategic roadmap for achieving long-term economic resilience and sustainable development. Speaking at the closing section, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman underscored the Mahama administration's dedication to fostering economic growth and implementing measures that deliver tangible relief to businesses and citizens alike. So, the National Economic Dialogue ended yesterday, and this is what the VIP, the Vice President, has to say, that they are going to do their possible best to implement the key policies that were recommended by some of the expertise and those that were present there.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you make of it?
Well, from the get-go, I've always supported the idea of having a national economic dialogue. It's fantastic. I mean, you get to hear from the people in the fire how it's burning them.
Yeah,
and you will also get to know how to quench it for them. So it's a great call. But as I said, words are words. The assurances, yeah. But we want to see
the work, action,
implement. In fact, let outline to us some of the things that you people gathered from. It could be made public, for public knowledge.
Okay.
Oh, these are some of the key factors that we have upheld from the dialogue we had, and these are the factors that we are going to see to implement to cushion this part of the economy, this side of the country, this and that, in terms of security, in terms of this, in terms of that. And so the people would have a fair idea of what actually went on and how it's going to impact us. We'll be looking forward to what government is going to do in relation to the economic dialogue that was held. So, I mean, they can do much more.
Okay.
There's more room for improvement.
There's
the first one we've had, but I think it should.
Yeah. We are seeing something. It shouldn't be as if we are facing a challenge as a country, and then someone has come in with their knowledge and in-depth knowledge to give you solutions, and then you don't want to work towards it. That shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't just leave it like that. Nobody even wants to contribute to it.
So they should let us know. For me, I think it should be made public. We all have a fair idea or knowledge on what we could do. And
Okay. So that will be all for our news headline review. Thank you for joining us. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Alright, so welcome to Today in History and Did You Know, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. I answer to the name is Regina Bliss. So to our first Today in History, Olusegun Obasanjo, born March 5th, 1937, Abia Kutu, Nigeria, is a Nigerian general, statesman, and diplomat who was the first military ruler in Africa to hand over power to a civilian government. He served as Nigeria's military ruler from 1976 to 1979 and as a civilian as president 1999 to 2007. On 5th March 1960, South African troops led by General John Smart invaded East Africa in their confrontation with German forces. More than 146,000 whites, 83,000 blacks, and 2,500 people of mixed race and Asians served in South African military units during the war, including 43,000 in German Southwest Africa and 30,000 on the Western Front. On 5th March 1969, the West German Federal Assembly elects Gustav Heinemann to the post of federal president in West Berlin. His election is taken as a sign of political reorientation in Bonn. Harassed by a mob, British troops on this day in 1770 opened fire, killing Crispus attacks and 4 others in the Boston Massacre, an event that galvanized anti-British feelings in the lead up to the American Revolution. On this day in 1993, a newly built Fokker 100 passenger plane falls from the sky a minute after takeoff from Spech, Macedonia, crashes and explodes. Of the 97 persons aboard, at least 77 lost their lives, and some of the survivors suffer severe burns. Moving to some Did You Know for today. Did you know that only female mosquitoes bite? Females often live longer than males. Only female mosquitoes bite people and animals to get a blood meal. Female mosquitoes need a blood meal to produce eggs. Mosquitoes also get infected with germs, such as viruses and parasites, when they bite infected people and animals. Did you also know that wind itself is the movement of air and it doesn't produce sound on its own? The sound we associate with wind occurs when it interacts with objects such as trees, buildings, or other surfaces. This interaction causes vibration and turbulence, which creates the noises we hear as wind sounds. Did you also know that the word testify derived from a time when men were required to swear on their testicles? The convention of oath for testimony being sworn on a Bible, and the words testify, testimonial, and testament themselves derives from the original Old Testament verified Judeo-Christian custom of men swearing oath of fealty by placing their hands on the testes of the reigning patriarch. Did you also know that ants stretch when they wake up in the morning? They tend to sleep at most for about 8 minutes at a time. Then they wake up to stretch out their little tiny legs. This is a fast way to boost their blood flow and loosen up their muscles. Although, unlike humans, they don't yawn at the same time. Did you also know that tennis was originally played with bare hands? Did you know that tennis was originally played with bare hands? It evolved from a game called Jeu de Paume, that is game of the palm, in the 12th century France, where players used their hands to hit the ball. And that's all for today on Today in History. And did you know? Join me same time tomorrow for some amazing and fascinating facts. So stay now.
Yesterday, ants are mining.
They stretch.
They stretch.
Yes, they do stretch. It's not only humans that stretch, but we yawn, but they don't yawn.
They don't yawn.
Yes, they don't.
And they sleep 8 minutes
each time. Yeah.
Into what they are
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Now I'm sorry.
And we humans, we sleep like how many?
8 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Miss Regina. Blessed. Why not? Make I don't even know what to say. For the mosquito, I know we are bitten by female Anopheles mosquito. I learned that back in primary school. So for that one, I know. But the ants,
you don't know
that they sleep 8 minutes at a time.
And the men holding the testicles of their reigning patriarch to testify on an issue.
Holding their what?
Testicles.
They are what?
Testicles.
The men.
Yes, the men.
They hold their what?
So if let's say you are the reigning patriarch and Q is at fault, so for we to know that what he's saying is really true, he has to hold your testicles to testify to that.
Wow. Wow.
But I don't think it's right for a man to hold another man's testicles. It should have been if you want to know
I
if
think
the man
just
is saying the
how
truth.
you are doing the Bible to swear. That is how
Yes.
But it should be done by a woman.
Why a woman?
I mean, it makes the process easier.
Wait.
Okay. Oh, I saw something here. So, Deputy Director for National Service Scheme, unless she's back in town.
Hallelujah.
So, what are we waiting for?
Did you see the working she was?
Say.
It's serious.
Guy.
Back door. Why yes,
See, if I was being accused of such a scandal, I'll be coming with my toes in between my legs. Like, I won't even want a camera on me.
On you.
But look at how she was pompously, showing off at the airport. Charlie.
Is that an evidence that she's not guilty?
Yeah.
Or maybe
if you are guilty of something, that is where you'll be so sober. But once you are not guilty, you walk with your full chest, because Charlie, I know say I'm not guilty. Even if I'm being arraigned for court, I can boldly give evidence that this crime I'm being accused of, I know nothing about.
Okay, so you just suppose, you and I have seen it verified that 81,000 ghost names have been paid. How is she going to like what? She wasn't part of it, or
maybe she has no idea about it. What am I saying?
Don't tell me what she don't tell me
what
that.
Am I saying?
What are you saying?
It's not innocence.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
Adeɛ ni nyam. Tuo yi, wo dia boni pa na me kunu. What's now when him say bullet sheen?
Yeah.
You are being tried for murder. Did the person die or not? That's what they are looking at. So now boba shemu na shemu na wunimu and form.
So she's back in town, and her lawyers are saying that she hasn't been invited. NIB hasn't invited her yet. But we are waiting for the few weeks to see.
I don't get what the lawyers are saying. Why did she come? After President Mahama said that he has directed
Yeah,
the oral
everyone
team
to be-
to declare them wanted and all that.
wanted, and even her assets
Yeah.
frozen or something.
You people came to say that she said she will come and present herself. Now she has come.
She
You
has
are saying
come.
the NIB has
Then
invited
her
her.
lawyers are saying that NIB has not invited her yet.
Yeah.
So
So you
she not
Ghanaians
go.
should relax.
Today the invitation will go. So Banera.
Yeah, she came yesterday.
Simon
And she's giving you walk-ins. You that you are here.
She's peppering us.
Charlie. Here is you. See, these people, they have so much confidence in the legal system that it is a failed system. So no matter what, they will come out squeaky clean. Yeah, in freezing the asset. That's why.
Well,
Kim Jong was a one.
The North Korea
Anna,
president.
why get to say why you say?
Yes.
What the workings be by
Even yesterday, I was telling you a story about the Iran. They jailed, is it 6 ministers for corruption?
Yeah.
And I was telling the Sinam, if this government does not jail these ministers,
government wait promises our be and one be failing. See, the NDC's biggest problem now is fulfilling the promises they made.
oh yes,
The assurance they gave Ghanaians.
they gave us that they will take us out of economic crisis.
Especially, see, do you know that we are not so much fixated on the economic crisis because we know where we are already. Our main position as a people is on corruption.
Yeah.
How are they going to
Very
deal
true.
with these corrupt
Yeah.
acts that we saw in the erstwhile government?
Someone should be used as a scapegoat.
yeah.
Tell $4 million for name tag. Hey,
And also,
All African games. No?
and to make constructive railway, constructive railway.
name tag.
In fact, yet here, yet here, na ba omi abeka che and say $2 million sky train. And think of name tag say to me to Sky trains too.
Look at
Tag.
that.
Yeah, I think
Messi,
10 days,
level
15.
It's the same
Level
thing
king.
when you are going for reports. The tag you
The
put in.
tag
Eh,
so
$4
when you
million.
say level king la,
$4 million.
Level king
Yeah,
can even do
He
that.
obey me, I am Level
Ah.
King. Alright, this now.
Lamination, paper, ink. For I'm done.
And
Then it means that tag, they don't have to throw it away. They have to make it a portrait.
It
Yeah,
should-
also
it should-
framing-
it should be at the
framing.
museum. It should be at the museum. The Nkrumah
we are
Museum
wasting
is-
money.
Sorry.
Seriously, we are wasting
Very
money.
bad.
I don't know if it's because we think it's not coming out from our own pockets, but because it's taxpayers' money.
No,
So like you can use it anyhow.
it's not that. It's just because we know that even if we take these monies away, they know, we know, God knows, even Satan knows that those tax does not amount to $4 million.
No. 1 million coming Gini service.
Let's go to hell.
Oh, that's bad. Anyway, for me, I'm excited about tomorrow. Yeah, City March is coming up tomorrow, and for the first time, it's going to be held in the Jubilee House. And I
And what's
just
the
can't.
excitement about that?
No,
It's
like
being held at the Jubilee House.
I just
or-
can't wait to see how it's going to be like. I'm excited because at least some ministers won't take some monies and be like, my wife is a caterer, so let's give the contract to her.
Oh, so that's.
Oh yes,
You are
at
not
least
excited.
We get to save some
You are
money
being
for the
petty.
country. Oh no, I'm not being petty.
She's being petty
Oh, but are you not
because
excited
someone
about
is not
independence?
going to get a contract, so you're excited.
Oh
That's
eh.
pettiness.
No. Unya
Yeah, it
contract.
is.
Now I'm gonna catch him say maybe $3 million. Whilst who got talk Jasmine Rice guy is saying
Are you
out there
saying?
jollof rice. I'm Uncle Fady.
I say more.
Okay, so God willing, tomorrow is Independence Day.
Yeah.
You can log into our social media platforms and watch it. It will be shown live on
Yeah.
Ghana Talks Radio. On YouTube, it will be there. On Facebook, it will be there. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on our news headline review today in history. So right after the news, we'll be coming up with a discussion with some insightful guests, and I bet you can't miss it. Yeah.
We bring you local news, business news, Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Bagman condemns unsavory comments against Zenato. Others probe. Government would implement key policy recommendations from Economic Dialogue. NSA payroll fraud. Gifty Oware returns to Ghana for NIB investigations. And in other stories, Sanction Bono is NDC chairman and 3 others of alleged kidnapping and torture. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awentemi Akansukum. Now let's settle for the details. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, has strongly condemned the unsavory comments made against Dr. Zenata Rollins, Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, during parliamentary proceedings on February 4th, 2025. During parliamentary proceedings Tuesday, February 4th, a male voice was heard shouting, "Daughter of a Medra, sit down. Daughter of a Medra, sit down." The outburst occurred while Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Makin was addressing the House and calling for calm. The remark came during heated discussions on the 60th anniversary of the death of Joseph Boachi Dankwa. Tensions escalated when Tamale Central MP Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed challenged what he described as exaggerated praise from the minority regarding JB Dankwa's legacy. The exchange grew intense, prompting the presiding speaker Andrew Esiama to limit contributions to only parliamentary leadership, as effectively silencing other MPs. In a formal communication during parliamentary proceedings March 3rd, Speaker Bagman apologized to Dr. Rollins and her family and gave the culprits an ultimatum to come forward within a week or face the consequences. Now, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to structural reforms and private sector-driven growth, pledging to implement key policy recommendations from the 2025 National Economic Dialogue. The 2-day dialogue, which centers on 6 priority areas, including macroeconomic stability, outlined a strategic roadmap for achieving long-term economic resilience and sustainable development. Speaking at the closing session, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman underscored the Mahama administration's dedication to fostering economic growth and implementing measures that deliver tangible relief to businesses and citizens alike. The reset agenda is both ambitious and necessary. It requires a concerted effort from all of us, that is, from the government, private sector, civil society, and every Ghanaian. I want to assure you that the government of Ghana is fully committed to translating these resolutions into concrete action. Now, former Deputy Executive Director of the National Service Authority, NSA, Gifty Oware Mensah, is expected to report to the National Investigations Bureau, NIB, upon her return to Ghana Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Reports arrive that the embattled NSA official will be arrested upon arrival at the Kotoka International Airport and taken into NIB custody for questioning. Meanwhile, key figures within the new patriotic party under whose administration she was appointed reportedly mobilized to accompany her to the NIB offices. The bureau has been directed by the President John Dramani Mahama to investigate allegations of ghost names in the records of the NSA being used to siphon millions of cedis in allowance from the National Service Scheme. This directive comes after a head count of active National Service personnel, which was ordered by the Minister for Finance as a prerequisite for the clearance of allowance, dating back to August 2024. The head count revealed that 98,145 actual National Service personnel were entitled to the allowances, significantly lower than the 180,030 names previously presented by the former management of the authority for payment. As Deputy Executive Director, Gifty Owari-Mensah was in charge of administration and finance at the NSA, making her a crucial witness in the ongoing probe. The suspected payroll fraud is believed to have cost the state 50 million cedis per month, though the duration of the scheme remains unclear. Over the weekend, the government announced plans to extradite key suspects allegedly involved in financial misconduct following reports that some individuals had fled the country to evade justice. The NIB recently arrested, detained, and interrogated Kweku Ohenijan, another former deputy executive director of the NSA, in connection with the investigations. Now, at least 16 assemblymen of the Kintampo South constituency in the Bono East region have petitioned the National Democratic Congress hierarchy to bring Eunice Owusu, the regional chairman, and 3 others to book. The aggrieved assemblymen claim that Eunice Osei and the 3, all executives of the Kintampo South NDC, should be held responsible for the kidnapping, brutal assault, and torture of a party faithful, Alfred Aganda, also called Tutu, on February 19, 2025. His only crime was to dare speak against the unexplained disappearance of about 200 bags of rice, said to be part of about 600 bags seized from the former MP, Alex Jan. The 3 Kintampo South constituency executives are Robert Saki, aka Slimmer, chairman, Wilfred Zuri, secretary, and Atanga Matthew, communications officer. Alfred Aganda was reportedly or recently admitted to the hospital following injuries he suffered from a beating and molestation he suffered at the hands of 4 men he alleged kidnapped and bundled him into a vehicle and drove him into a bush, ostensibly to kill him. He accused Eunice Owusu as the brain behind the incident. Owusu, however, when reached by the media, denied any knowledge whatsoever of the crime he's been accused of. Now, straight to some business. The National Petroleum Authority (NPA) has projected a decline in petroleum prices by mid-March 2025, attributing the expected reduction to falling crude oil prices and a slight depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollar. According to the latest petroleum price indicators realized or released by the NPA on February 28, crude oil prices have dropped by 2.03% from $75.06 per barrel to $73.53 per barrel. The decline is largely driven by global markets uncertainties, including tensions between the US and Ukraine, new tariffs imposed by Washington, and Iraq's decision to resume oil exports from the Kurdistan region. The projected price drop comes as welcome news for consumers, particularly transport operators and businesses that rely heavily on petroleum products. It also aligns with broader global trends as oil prices have faced downward pressure due to geopolitical and economic development. Now, moving to some sports this morning, Ghana's senior women's national team are set for a training tour in Senegal next month as part of their preparation for the upcoming Women's Africa Cup of Nations (WAFCON). The Black Stars would enjoy a 9-day training tour in Senegal to continue their preparations for the delayed 2024 WAFCON. The Ghana Football Association announced the next plan for the team on Tuesday, March 4. The April training tour in the FIFA window would feature 2 international friendly matches against Senegal's Teranga Lioness in Dakar. Head coach Kim Las side would face the Teranga Lioness twice, with the matches scheduled to take place within a few days of each other. This comes after their recent visit to Morocco, where they played against the Atlas Lions runs in the Suede first game. The recent activities are all part of the preps for the Continental Showpiece in Morocco from July 5th to 26th, 2025. Now moving straight to some showbiz, Ghanaian highlife musician Bisakadie has proven his versatility in his latest single, Sun, taking a foray into rap. In Sun, Bisakadie takes on a dual role, portraying both himself and his father in a lyrical conversation. While he has predominantly focused on highlife, incorporating elements from other genres has been a hallmark of his career, which has made him stand out among his peers. He is always ready to experiment with rhythms and other music genre. The single Sun represents not only a personal evolution but also an attempt to resonate with fans who appreciate diverse musical expressions. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukumasi. Thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines, review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. For breakfast. How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines, review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning once again. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio with your favorite consistent, constant host, Pakwesi Omare. And today, my beautiful Esinam has left me alone. But she will be coming your way tomorrow, so don't worry. Esi will be back. But on the panels today, I have two heavyweights representing the two major political parties in the country to help for discussion on some major topics this morning, making waves in the news headline. You can join the conversation on all our social media platforms and also on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. You can also follow through on WhatsApp at 0202 544 614 0202 544 614 0202 544 614 0202 544 614. Let us hear from you. Send your views, your comments, your suggestions, and get interactive, and we will respond to you. I will be having as I said earlier, two heavyweights from the two political parties to discuss something. And especially one of the topics we'll be looking at is the true state of the nation presented by the minority in parliament yesterday. I think it was presented on Monday which in a statement claimed that the earlier statement read by the President John Dramani Mahama was the false state of the address of the nation or something. I mean, Ghana, NPP, NDC. So I want you to stay tuned and enjoy the conversation, enjoy the discussion. Very soon we will be heading into the discussions as my panelists, my guests get ready for us to enroll. Before that, I want to remind you of our platform being open to everyone, every young entrepreneur, everyone in business who is looking for a platform to showcase what they do, to market themselves, to sell their products, whatever you are doing. The studios of GhanaTalks Radio is open to you to freely come and then showcase what you've got. You can contact us on 0548201089 to book a schedule so that we platform you on our segment. We call it the come up segment. As for young entrepreneurs into business, whatever you do, we will give you the platform to come showcase what you've got. Also, we are open for commercialization and advertisements. So whatever you want to advertise on our platform, we are open to that with the most moderate rates you could ever have in the media space in Ghana. So get in touch with us on 0202544614, 0202544614, and we will give you the rates which will be so affordable to you, you will even be surprised. This morning I'll be talking to the NDC's communications member, Mr. Peter Adai, and also the NPP's communications member, who will be joining us very soon in the studios to get their discussions rolling. Tomorrow is Independence Day, the 68th Independence Day for Ghana. Ghana yenye 68 years. Wow, sure, minor. Ever since we achieved independence, has the progress been corresponding to the years that we've had independence? Let me hear from you. 68 years that we went independent from the rules of the Western government. Let me put it that way. 68 years. What has been the progress? What has been the decline? Do you think there is more to do? Do you think we've come so far, so good? Looking at all the indicators, the sectors. How far with the how far? How far with the how far? 68 years. Agenda 111 issues. National Cathedral issues, 68 years. How far with the how far? How far with the how far? Let me hear from you. All our social media platforms and also on YouTube. You can call, you can send your message on WhatsApp as well. 0202-544-614. 0202-544-614. Before we have the newspaper review with Esinam and Regina, we also came your way with the Today in History, where we get to learn so many things that has been happening in history in time memorial. Also, we came your way with the news, and now we are ready to serve you the breakfasts. How do you want your breakfast? Today's breakfast promises to be one of the most delicious breakfasts because it's going to be heated in here with all the educative, the insights, so many topics that issues surrounding us that we need clarity from both sides of the political arena. Both sides of the political arena. So today we are going to address all these issues. I want you to get interactive. And parties no mankasa omo reps eba enti dia wo pese obisa omo bia no and wo de wa bisa men bisa me ask them. We are giving you the platform, so let us hear from you. Let us hear from you. Now fortunately we have all our guests in the studios with us, and so I would want to use this opportunity to welcome our guests. First, let me welcome Mr. Adai Peter. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Akwaba.
Yeah, Eja.
How was your journey?
Oh, cool. All the way from Edukrom in the eastern region.
All the way from Edukrom in the eastern region. How was the traffic?
Very serious.
It's an honor to have you on our platform this morning to have a discussion. Yes. And also we have the Star Boy. Star.
Boss.
Boko dear.
Oh, Nanyadom.
Yeah, show it Nima. Yeah, the Namia say to my Bekayansa.
Yeah. This is my first time being here, and I'm very happy. I'm very glad. Yeah.
Sure. We are also very glad to have you on our platform this morning. Abayafo for now about almost 2 ideas.
This is not the first time MPP.
Yeah.
A free power. This is not the first time.
Yeah.
We've been in power before.
Yeah.
We left and then we came back.
Sure.
And this is not the first time NDC has also won power. They've won power before, left, and then they are now back.
They are now back.
So we expect a lot from them.
Okay.
Because during the campaign they made a lot of promises.
Okay.
So we are expecting a lot of them. Just that it's just unfortunate. Say, President Neko Parliament Neko ready the State of Nation address now.
Yeah.
Now all I meant to say the economy has sunk. Economy no crown. The way not offense say a tier. Time opposition no crown. By no say MPP party no crown more power no. Omo discount can not cry. As a scabia put your mind.
But did the president lie with that statement?
If he lied or he didn't lie, yeah, but we do budget 11th March. We are expecting budgets on certain key promises.
Okay.
Make here.
All right.
Right now, you say, "A man into me kwabonti in Kokoboro."
Yeah.
You said, "You man we cannot go outside or external world to borrow."
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are coming to make a budget.
Okay.
We are coming to build a budget, and the budget we are expecting budget on some key policies to be to say, free senior high school no class or best 10-day alcohol, private schools no.
Yeah.
We are expecting a budget on the 24-hour economy.
Okay.
We are expecting a budget on the free level 100 for tertiary.
Yeah.
We are expecting a budget on that one also.
Okay.
And Sebi, okay, say Sebi Tishima.
Yeah.
Sebi Omo did them kakra Sebi you can't be from say persons with disabilities. Okay, say almost no operational omako university free.
Yeah.
Nina ye share a budget ni say represent. Now was also a tax be if you honor. Sini only a call apam me bebunu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a youth, so only a call apam.
What are some of the taxes that you are looking forward for him to scrap away?
The betting tax in the e-levy and the other things, he made a promise to us. He promised that after 120 days. And then the budget, we didn't know. Yeah. I think it falls within the 120 days.
Okay.
So we are expecting, say, obey those things in the free horse. It's just kind of mining. Obey taxes in the free horse. We are still expecting, say, you rebudget and place budget on some of the key promises.
Okay. Okay.
But as you know, say, if he lied or he didn't lie, the budget will let us know the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, the my medical share with you for me buy me share with you for you now. Me fa in check say some come na kwam bekwen. Come na kwam bekwen on a would like by for constituency it organizer.
Okay.
Best regular cry it ni na say e beto aginachi. Na ya bono na be lead party no. Campaign time so here into the campaign but message say we need him some percent cover but message say youth na can be and we should all follow him, rally behind him, because the youth wing youth ne ewu Greater Accra. Yeah, then this for no more year Greater Accra. We saw say no the party's youth wing in this city. Now Accra is the capital of the country. You will say the youth wing was dead.
Yeah.
You best say the youth of Accra, Otesko Knights, every youth of MPP, we should all rally behind Kwame McQueen.
Okay.
Now Umbra revive the youth wing. Now you must mobilize on resources mind. Now you fight it back to win power.
Okay.
Matia Amasama phone na satellite phone na
Amasama satellite phone. We extend our greetings to you from Ghana Talks Radio. But then before we move on, so far, change of government. Now you're in opposition. New administration has taken over. How has the country been for you? How has the atmosphere?
For me, we read a budget on December.
Yeah.
We read a budget on December.
Yeah.
And the budget will cover 3 months of this very, very government's administration.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 months. So he's still paying workers from our budget.
Oh, okay.
Salaries are being paid from our budget.
Okay.
Yeah, from the budget we read. I remember after elections, they were like, Bianco Parliament, we will go, we won't go. We are expecting the finance minister to come and read the budget. Then we were all expecting him. Then now there were some allegations there. Oh, you go, you won't come. You go, you won't come. When we were expecting you also in Parliament, you didn't come. But finally, he went there to read the budget.
Okay.
And this budget also, and the budget covers 3 months of the this administration. So
okay. So even if things are good, it's under your budget.
It's under. So he hasn't read any budget yet.
Okay.
This current administration
good for you now. Or do you think things are better now?
For me, I think the president has a lot to do.
Okay.
What we're expecting from him, especially from his appointments.
Okay.
The staffers. You tell us you were complaining about President Ekufado's administration.
Yeah.
The staffers in at Jubilee House and other things. The ministry are fine. You've reduced the ministry appointments.
Okay.
But now you are creating more portfollios.
Really? Are there new portfolios being created by the president?
This is the first time I'm hearing Black Star experience. Staffer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing. Unless he tells me who was that who unless he tell me who was holding that position. The Black Star experience. Yes, so
but it wasn't a position which was already there. They
no,
just
I don't know. So unless maybe he educates me on that.
Okay, all right.
Fine, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he educates me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, rest of my position.
Okay.
Yeah, unless.
But have you read anything about the position? Because I think it was highlighted in the NDC's manifesto even before they won.
So now they are creating more portfolios. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And are these portfolios, in your own observation, do you think it's going to be relevant to the Ghanaian?
I don't see any relevancy. Even with this Jocelyn Dumas position, the diaspora, whatever diaspora, we have the Minister for Foreign Affairs. We have ambassadors.
Yeah.
And so what is she going to do?
But in regards to that, I think it's been debunked that she hasn't been given any appointments. So.
Oh, okay. Then UTV lied. Because UTV lied because I read it from their portal and other portals also.
Oh, sure.
The meaning because I was like so what exactly is she going to do?
Okay.
Because we have an ambassador for foreign affairs. I'm sorry, a minister for foreign affairs, and also ambassadors who are going to represent the country in other countries.
Okay.
So I was like, what is she going to do there?
Oh, okay.
So if it has been debunked, then it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, Mr. Adai.
I was very happy when I heard my brother talking. One thing is, budgets are just proposals.
Okay.
When government are reading budgets, it doesn't mean the monies are sitting in the account.
Okay.
So you might read a very nice budget, but you go to the capital market to try and get money to finance the budget. So budgets does not mean there are money sitting in the accounts. So my brother should understand that. Budgets are proposals that government have for a fiscal year or for a period or for a quarter.
Okay.
So with budgets, you come out with proposals. At the end of the day, that government need to go out to get money to finance the budget. Budget does not mean you have the financing. So they might have a very good budget as presented.
Yeah.
But the question is, was the money available. You get it? Okay. That is what is very necessary.
Okay.
So if I'm happy my brother was also talking about budgets was read by them. So for now they know we are following their footsteps in the policy that they brought. But the question is, why are they now complaining? Why are they now having the true state of the nation address? Meaning they are talking about things they don't understand.
How is that?
Because what I mean is, if you ask any MPP member today, he will tell you the economy is hard. But we are still working within your budget.
Okay.
You get it? There are things that, let's look at the Agenda 111. It was in government's budget.
Okay.
Was all money available for government to complete? No.
Okay.
So budgets does not mean we have the physical cash to really manage the budget. Budgets are just proposals. You propose that as a government in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
After the proposal, it's now the role of the finance minister and the president to work things out to get money to finance that budget.
Okay. Now, you are in power now.
Yeah.
How are things for you now?
The MPP in power really threw dust in the eyes of Ghanaians.
Okay.
They really painted a picture that Ghana was okay.
So ever since you resumed
power, after we resumed power, we've now seen most of the things they were talking about were just alabaster policies.
But wait, when you were in opposition, you didn't realize the economy was actually an alabaster
we know the economy was sick, but we were told there were money sinking in our accounts. But after coming to power, that is when you get the actuality. Because in opposition, you may presume based on information that you are having.
Okay.
But when you come to power, that is when you get to know the actuality.
So, as you've come to power, what has been the actuality for you?
Our accounts are zero.
So you mean the NPP didn't leave anything in the reserves for you to?
When a country like Ghana, when a government is hesitant, he leaves just less than 1 day crude for the country to run on as to run our electricity. These are things that tells you the former government was not ready to serve. So even at a transition, there was an agreement for the outgoing government to make requests for crude to support our our thermal plants. And did they do that? These are clear things that shows the old government or the former government didn't work for the interests of Ghanaians. They worked for their personal interests.
So you, the new party, the new administration, what we've seen you do certain things. As you said, we are having light.
Yes.
And you are saying the NPP only left a day's crude for
less than a day crude.
So how are we, running electricity now?
That is when leadership comes in. With good leadership, John Dramani Mahama have negotiated, and now things are going well. Let me tell you something. So, this is the first time in the history of Ghana where, in a government, a former minister is being, let's say, attacked by the government in power. That his own people are saying they are not interested. Look at have you listened to Vincent Vincent Asifua, or the one of the MPs in the Asante region, saying for finance minister to go to court to help with that. Their deputy communication officer is also saying same, because they know they didn't leave anything in the accounts.
Okay.
And people use the state money for their personal benefit and interest.
Under whose budgets is the country being run now?
As I said, budgets are proposals. Proposals are not factual, or they are not income. You get it? So the old government have proposals for the next 3 months, but monies to run those proposals are being run by this current government.
So where are you getting the resources to do all these things?
Ghana have never stopped. Ghanaians have never stopped paying taxes.
I'm coming.
Yes.
You made us understand that the reserves were empty.
Yes.
As you resumed power.
Yes.
And yet still, all the things that have been done, you are saying, is from your coffers and all that. So, how are you doing all these things?
That's why I told you, Ghanaians, right from 7th January, were paying tax even after the election. So it's about taking prudent decisions.
Okay.
It's about utilizing the little you have.
Okay.
Tax paying, everyday Ghanaians are paying tax.
Okay.
So right from the day we had the election,
Yeah.
Ghanaians continued to pay tax.
Okay.
7th January, Ghanaians were paying tax.
Okay. All
And what this government is doing is that he's making good use of the little that we have.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you take the expenditure of one minister for a month, so for a government to reduce from 120 to 60, he have saved the country some amount of money.
Okay.
So these are things that this new government is doing.
Okay.
That's why you see Ghana really growing. That's why you've seen the investors are now coming back.
Okay.
Their confidence is now high.
Right.
They know this government is ready to work, and they are ready to work with the government.
They are ready to work with the government, as Mr. Adai Peter posted it. You are still with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Join the conversation on all our social media platforms and also on YouTube. You can also follow through on our WhatsApp 0202544614. Let us hear from you. You can call, you can text, and then we will get interactive. Now, moving on to our first topic of the day is the suspension of the gold for oil program by the new Bank of Ghana governor. Mr. Dai, you just resumed power, and all we've been seeing is termination. And yesterday we had the news that the Bank of Ghana governor, Mr. Siama, has actually terminated or suspended the gold for oil policy, which was intended to save Ghana in some ways, especially in the petroleum field. Why is that?
One important thing we need to understand, that for every country to stand well in the economic arena, the country is run on reserves. And reserves, if you come to Ghana, are some of our properties we have in outside Ghana, in Europe, in America, and etc. And the gold.
Okay.
The issue is, if you take an issue like cocoa board, it is not easy for somebody to just run cocoa board anyhow.
Okay.
Because we have a board that control the quantity and the quality of cocoa being Ghanaians produce.
All right. Was the gold for oil policy implemented?
I think 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So
under the SWAL administration.
The issue.
What was the policy intended for?
They were saying because of the fall of our cedi, we are using a huge amount of our money to buy oil.
Okay.
So in order to really stabilize the price of crude and also stabilize our economy, instead of them taking huge amount of our cedi to go and buy crude, that will cause the state match.
Yeah.
They think we should rather use our reserves,
our
gold reserves we have, to exchange for oil. That is better trade.
Okay.
But the question is, can we determine the quantum of gold that was sent? No.
Okay.
So it's not just about gold for oil.
Okay.
But we are looking for, is it sustainable? That's one important thing.
Okay.
How would that even help us as a nation? If you are not able to determine the quantity of gold that we are using to exchange, is it that some people are making money out of it? Because gold for oil might be a very good policy, but if not checked well, can be a very good weapon for corrupt officials to enjoy.
Okay.
Because we are taking our gold reserves. Bank of Ghana is buying gold from gold in Ghana, using that gold they have to exchange. But the question is, what about if the price of gold falls?
Okay.
So what percent of our reserve, gold reserve, were used in exchange for oil?
Okay.
If all these things are not known, it's dangerous.
So, okay, before I ask this question,
okay,
let me first ask this: what was the basis on which the governor, under your administration, has suspended the gold for oil policy?
Thank you very much for this question.
Yeah.
It was cancelled because now we want to take our time and go through the books of the old government and check whether there is any corrupt activities involved in the whole process. 2, we now have a very active gold board, which is chaired by Sami Jamfi, the able lawyer.
Okay.
They are now going to check if you. Last week we had a press conference where he said they are going to not just to sell gold, but even check the quality of our gold.
Okay.
We are also going to refine our gold. We are not going to sell the raw gold in the international market.
Okay.
So if all these things are put in place, where government can really account for gold produced in a month, in a year, or in days. Do you know there are times that Ghana cannot account for its gold that was sent to even Asia? We have times companies in Asia will rather tell us.
Okay.
They will rather tell us the quantum of gold they bought from us.
In why Ghana, can't we account it ourselves?
Because we are not having a proper gold board. That is why it's illegal to even sell cocoa outside Ghana. You only sell cocoa to cocoa board.
Okay.
So now what the government want to do is gold will be only be sold to the the gold board.
Okay.
So if gold is only sold to the gold board, we can now even check and I'm saying because the buyer bringing the gold to the board to buy, we need to know his source, where he's mining from. Okay. So all these things are things that the government want to put in place to really check corruption, to also sustain, even if we want to continue.
Has there been any instances where the NDC thinks that there are some inappropriation in relation to this gold for oil policy?
If you remember about let's say about 7 months ago, the NDC then in opposition asked the government to tell us the quantum of gold they've used for the exchange for oil.
Okay.
If you remember, just after the election, there were some allegation that some gold bars were being smuggled outside Ghana at the airport.
Yeah.
We were then informed by the then Minister of Finance that that gold is part for the gold for oil. Yeah. So my question is simple. We need to put the old government accountable.
Okay.
And the only way we can do that is by checking some of these things.
Okay.
We need to check the quantum of gold they use for that exchange. How many reserve or the reserve that we have now of gold, how many do we have now as a country? All these things need to be checked. So as a government, we are ready to serve the people.
Okay.
Since we came to power for the I say almost 2 months now, oil fuel is available for people to buy. People are getting their petrol, we are getting our diesel, we are getting our gas to buy. There is no filling station in town that have been shut down.
Okay.
Meaning oil, these oil products are all available in the country.
But what isn't it from the good for oil policy which has made all these things very?
What we are saying is it's not just making the thing available. Before the governor took that decision, there was a lot of consultations.
Okay.
We are going to check.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, from now to about February, March, ending of March, we are going to hear more about this gold for oil.
Okay.
People who have enjoyed, people who are getting 10%, people who are getting 2%. What pains me is my brother is going to defend this, but he was never given even 0.5% of whatever was received from this gold for oil.
That is just your assumption.
I know my brother, he will never receive it, but people have really enjoyed it, but he's going to defend it.
Star. 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, your government came about with the gold for oil policy. What was your intention as a government for this gold for oil policy?
We can all see that 2 years ago. Even let me say 3 years ago, because we are now in 2025. We all saw how the prices of fuel were just skyrocketing.
Okay.
The price of fuel were just going high.
Sure.
The dollar rate was going high. You know, at the point after the global crisis, many things occurred. But the president stood on his ground. Said he prefers to save life rather than the economy. Where the economy, there can be other means or other ways to bring back the economy.
Okay.
So after all this, we saw prices of gold, prices of fuel and prices of the dollar, the skyrocketing.
Yeah.
So then we need to find a solution. What can we do? We have the gold.
Okay.
We have the gold. We go outside there. We have the gold. They have the dollar. So we have to determine. Fine, if you want to buy the fuel, we will convert the gold to your rate before we buy it.
Okay.
So that we can also help our people.
Yeah.
We was talking about there's nobody checking it, but I think the central bank was in charge of everything.
Okay.
For me, if you talk about honorable Isiama, Mr. Isiama, for me, that man who was in court, he would say he has been in court and we couldn't prosecute him. He wasn't guilty or something.
Yeah.
But he wasn't acquainted and discharged. His case was just withdrawn from court. If John Mahama really want to fight corruption, like all those appointees, he would have even charged our judges or our courts to hasten or to fasten the hearing of those people of their cases.
Okay. How long were you in power?
We've been in power for 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
How long has his case been in court?
But with that one, I don't have a problem with that, because there've been cases not even about politicians that have been in court for about 12 years, 20 years. They've been more cases. So for hearing, I cannot interfere into the whatever the judiciary want to do.
Okay.
How they want to hear the case, or how they want to, what they need for what they need.
No, I'm actually asking this because you said that the new president could have directed the hastiness of his hearing.
Just because during campaign, he was saying the MPP wasn't ready to fight corruption, but he is ready to fight corruption. Formed an oral team.
Okay.
Operation Recover All Loots and Harvests. So if you're ready to fight corruption, and then there are some cases in court that were also about corruption that are in court, you shouldn't just go there and withdraw those cases.
Okay.
Because if MPP failed, let's assume MPP failed, like he's saying.
Yeah.
Reason why Ghanaians voted us out.
Yeah.
Now you came in to fight corruption because you're in the opposition. You were making noise. The people are corrupt. Their politicians are corrupt.
Yeah.
So when you came in to fight corruption, the first thing was that no, there are some cases there. Now we are coming from my own administration. I would prefer the judicial service to fasten their head to the hearing, so that they will be proved. They will not be proved guilty.
Okay.
So they will be clean. Now I know that my appointees were clean, and I can now reappoint them.
Okay. We've heard from the Attorney General come to say that his works haven't been interfered by the president. So is it that
this is just by he's just saying this? He knows by all means Ghanaians are going to say the president is the climate agent.
Okay.
But he wants to save the face of the president and then claim all the blames. Because if he thinks what he's doing is fair, this statement wouldn't even have come.
Okay.
If he thinks he's doing a clean job, he's doing a fair job, I don't think he will even come out to even say this.
Okay.
He will come out to just to give reasons why he's withdrawing all those cases. But he's here saving the face of the president.
Okay.
He knows what she's doing is wrong.
Okay.
So now he's here. He didn't give any main reason for suspending the gold for oil.
Okay.
Do you know what, my brother?
No. Tell me.
Now they have this gold board that they want to establish. That's why they are suspending the gold for oil. It's simple.
Okay.
Because of the gold board that they want to establish.
Okay.
And then this gold board that they want to establish, we will get there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll get there. This gold board that they want to establish, we'll get there. Yeah. They are trying to suspend it. For now, the gold for oil is what we are relying on fuel for now. Okay. And I was saying people are not queuing for fuel. During the 8 years of the former administration, former government,
your party, the NPP,
nobody queued for fuel.
Okay.
There wasn't any fuel shortage in the country.
Okay. Which was as a result of the gold for oil policy?
No, I'm not saying from 2017 there wasn't any shortage of fuel.
Okay.
Unlike the previous government, the first the rule of the NDC administration, Mahama administration.
Okay.
There wasn't any shortage of fuel. There wasn't anything like that.
Okay.
The gold for oil was just to control the price rocketing.
Okay.
To control how the dollar, and it helped.
Okay.
See, after the oil crisis, there were many instances, even could happen in many in the neighboring countries.
Yeah.
You could see that many economies went down, sank down. Many economies. That's why many countries were experiencing coup and other things.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you are not strong enough, The economy will expose you.
Sure.
We experience the same thing here. Even in UK and other things. Other countries were finding it difficult to buy fuel. So we were experiencing all these things. But we were saying no, let's save lives.
Okay.
Fine. The prices will go high, but let's find a way to make sure our people also feel
some relief.
Some relief.
Okay.
At least if not for that, like the dollar, maybe 20 million.
Wow.
yeah, because that policy was a very good policy, but they're in power now, and then they want everything for themselves.
So you think that what do you think, by your observation, is there a reason for suspending this policy?
The governor didn't give any reason. He didn't give any reason. That's what I'm saying. The good border don't establish. Now they want to be the source. They want to be the only source that can purchase good. Okay. And then it's going to affect the economy.
Okay.
You might think cocoa because the government only bought buying cocoa, so it's good. So gold can also be the same. Let's say we have foreign investors here.
Okay.
Like the Asanko, the Anglo Ashanti and other things, who are also mining here, and also they are investors who have workers.
I just want to come in. In Ghana, it's not only government who buys cocoa.
Okay.
Government is just having the depots.
Okay.
So Oram and other companies go and buy the cocoa, give it to the government. The government lead in the sales of cocoa.
So
what you want, you really want the life of Chamaun to me, who are taking advantage of the system. We want to control those people.
Okay.
It's not about Chamaun to me. You talk about Chamaun to me.
Yeah.
But is Chamaun to me the only person? No, we are not dealing with MPP. We are dealing with Ghanaians.
We are talking about campaigns.
We are dealing with Ghanaians.
No, the issue is
we are dealing.
Come to Ghana, say I don't know. It's I want to hear. But the life of Chamaun to me.
We'll come. When you are talking, I didn't interfere.
Okay,
sorry. I played very gentle because I could do the same thing.
Exactly.
But I didn't interfere.
Exactly.
We are not dealing with MPP.
Yeah.
That's what NDC should know. We are not dealing with MPP. We are dealing with Ghanaians. We are dealing with investors.
Wow.
It shouldn't be like the way they were laying workers off, laying people off. They think they are laying MPP people off. No, you are laying Ghanaians off. Some of them are teachers, and before even you could employ teachers, you have to pass the process. It's not just one day. Some will have to go for financial clearances and other things before you can recruit them. So it's not just a 1 day thing, but you came to power and then said, or after everything, like I was saying, we read budget on this after 7th of December, and even if you recruited people after 7th of December, I think the budget will also cover them. And then you are here saying, we read budget, and then you find me saying, can he tell me the amount of tax they've received from January to now? Can you tell them if those taxes can even pay salaries of workers? We should be honest. We should be honest with ourselves. That if what the taxes that we are paying, how our tax net as a country, our tax net. I don't know if the taxes they've received can even pay the salaries of only police, teachers, doctors, nurses, and all other workers who under controller. We should be fair to Ghanaians. This thing that they want to do, they are finding a way to have means to our good. They are finding a way. They are only just finding a means to have a way to our good and our resources, and that's it. They are in for money. They are in for money. The NDC is just in for money.
Okay.
Because for the start, they still think they are still doing campaign. That's why when the president went to the parliament, he was still lamenting. He still thinks we are still doing campaign. That was the reason why he was still lamenting. When he went to parliament, he was still lamenting. Yeah, which is very bad.
He is not complaining like what our former president did.
What our former president did. Remember, in parliament, recently in parliament, when the president went there, the minority leader referred to him that when you were leaving office, you made it clear that you ate the meat to the bone. The president couldn't even utter a word about that. Okay. Now you're saying about Galamsey.
He's very realistic.
You
lying.
Yeah.
Wrong figure.
So relax. Sorry. I don't come in. So
sorry for the
you can drop the things down when can drop the things down when I'm done. Then you can come in.
Then he comes. Yeah. Point well made.
You're talking about Galamsey issue.
Yeah.
Now let's if you listen to this now. How was the president comments on Galamsey issue?
Honestly, I was actually bothered with that, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, so you are forming a gold board.
Yeah,
you are about to form a gold board. Yeah, you are suspending good for oil. You've had the chance to go to parliament.
So you think, in your observation, you think that the suspension is in relation to the establishment of the gold board?
It's just one thing.
Okay.
It's just one thing.
Okay. All right.
We are here. You're all observing. You're all observing. I said this guy. Whatever they were doing in the position, whatever they were saying in the position, you are not come to face the reality.
The reality.
Now we are come to see the real NDC people. I said, look, we are here. They are lamenting. There's no money. The money that the president left, the 8 billion cities or whatever that the president left, was mainly to stabilize the economy. Okay. Well, if every president leave, at least you leave.
How much did you leave?
Is it 8 billion Ghana cedis or whatever? 8 billion. Then this
left
left this left 6 billion during that time. Okay. But I won't blame them because value for money changes.
Okay.
The value for one cedi in 2011 won't be the same value as at now.
Yeah.
That's why if you are being real, you should be real to Ghanaians.
Okay.
You should be real to Ghanaians. The value for money in 20, even when I was young, when I was going to school, my mom used to give me one cedi. Today, when my mom gives me one cedi, the value will never be the same.
Sure.
Yeah, so you should be real to Ghanaians.
All right.
But that money is used to stabilize the economy. That money is not there for you to use to implement your key policies.
Okay.
That money is not there for you to use to. So right now, we don't know our tax net. Even our tax net in Ghana here is very, very small. That's why we brought about the e-levy so that we can widen our tax net.
Okay. So the e-levy was to widen our tax net.
Part of it.
Okay.
As part of its reasons to widen our tax net. No, because
and
we have many people who are not paying taxes. So the e-levy was also part to widen our tax net. And then fine, but about who says you even when it comes, you also scrap it.
Yeah.
Then they also says they scrap it.
Yeah.
Now they scrap it. They are lamenting. Now he was talking about even about the fuel. The fuel that they came to. About the crude oil and then the gas pipeline. Yeah. I was like, when did this gas pipeline encounter the fault? Is it after elections? Because we were still giving Ghanaians light 247.
But with in regards to that,
no, we're still giving Ghanaians light.
You come in. So let me make it. But in regards to that, I remember vividly that the WAPCO came out to say that their maintenance was supposed to be done on the 24th of October. WAPCO themselves came out to publish that. So that means the problem was there even before you
before the problem was there before you left. So Mama should not build on that problem. Now when you came, the gas pipeline, that's why we are experiencing something, so we will solve it. No.
But wasn't that the issue?
If that's the issue, then why were we still giving them power? We're still giving Ghanaians power. We're owing some of the IPPs. We were owing some of the IPPs.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Asogli and the rest. Asogli, I remember in 2024 November, somewhere around October, November 2024.
Okay.
We all know Asogli, the owner of Asogli power plant. Yeah. We all know Tuba Fede is affiliated. I won't say he's a king or he's a chief. No, we all know. I will not say he's a politician because chiefs don't do politics.
Okay.
So I will not say he's a chief. He's a politician.
Yeah.
But I know Tuba Fede has a little sympathy for the NDC.
For the NDC. Okay.
Yeah, we all know this. Even when we are owing Asogli, when we are in power, we are owing Asogli power plant. We are owing them, but we are having negotiations with them on how to pay. ECG was having negotiations with them on how to pay.
Okay.
So some of these things were there before you resume power.
So
before you were sworn in.
So that means if these issues were there, then the power outages were actually there as well before they resumed power.
We were finding means and ways to give Ghanaians power.
But you do you accept that there were power challenges?
There are power challenges.
Yeah.
And those days, those power challenges, we're still managing.
But they were there.
They were there, but the Ghanaians were having light unlike this now. Unlike after Jomama was sworn in.
So there was no Dumso.
There was nothing like this. Dumso, no, there was somewhere around. Remember somewhere around April.
What?
Excuse me, around somewhere around April there or somewhere around May there. The Minister for Energy came to say if you want, bring your own timetable or something.
Yeah.
That was Dumso. That was Dumso.
Okay.
That was Dumso. That wasn't anything. That wasn't. It was about mechanical issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even in summer around November, car wash things, they were all having mechanical problems.
Okay. That's
yeah,
fine.
they were all having mechanical problems. They came out to say it.
Yeah, that's fine.
They were all having mechanical problems.
Okay.
And then so Jomama should not pretend as if this problem started during this era or after he was sworn in, before the gas pipeline and other things. So the doom that we are experiencing started when he was sworn in or whatever. We were experiencing all those things that were causing doom that is causing doom now.
Okay.
Then people were facing all those things, but we were giving Ghanaians lights. Tariffs were very little.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay.
It's so the NDC should stop. The campaign is over.
Okay.
Campaign is over. Now Ghanaians voted for you.
So
Ghanaians
they should just go on.
Just go on and work.
All right.
Just bring plans. Just go on and work.
Okay.
Don't come and seek blames. When you told us you've eaten the meat to the bone, we still in our first year we still came and restored the necessary training teachers at training allowance within our first year.
Okay.
We still came and implemented the free senior high school within our first year.
Okay.
Upon all this, we still came to do all this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ghanaians are expecting you to deliver.
Okay.
No honeymoon, no excuses. So stop shifting the blame.
Okay. Stop
shifting the blame and focus. It's very simple.
It's very simple.
The question is, when we were leaving power in 2016, our gold reserve were secured. We were not using the gold reserve to exchange for oil. We left power for almost 3 months, crude for almost 3 months for the new government to use. So we are not just talking about the power outages, but what we are trying to say is John Dramani Mahama is here as a leader to solve problems.
Okay.
And these problems were inherited.
Okay.
We just want Ghanaians to know.
I think he
No, one thing is, we are accountable to Ghanaians.
Okay.
And MPP members are also Ghanaians.
Okay.
So anytime the government is giving solutions, it is right and prudent for the government to tell its people what is happening.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
You know, in the history of Ghana, the first time a certain president have ever visited labor during negotiations is John Dramani Mahama doing that this year. And you see, this is the first time after negotiation, all labor unions are happy. Though the increment is not high, but they believe and trust the government.
We know one thing. After the termination of contracts and of workers after 7 December, TUC even came out. They were very angry.
Okay.
So the president has to find me some ways to make them labor. we know all the scripts.
So we
know all the
just
scripts.
some antics that
So the question is,
TUC came out. They were very angry.
Okay.
That it is illegal for the president to do that.
Yeah, TUC came out, but later they saw
just finding me some ways just to bring them on board.
Backdating appointment letters is something is not acceptable.
Okay.
Nobody validated. What's the evidence?
Do you know?
You have any evidence?
In Ghana Water.
Yeah.
Ghana Water.
Yeah.
People were given appointment letter without talking about their salary. I think.
Were they paid?
Oh, people were paid on the table.
Okay.
In the SY government.
Okay.
And now, later part of the year, when they saw they've lost power, they were given appointment letters, backdating them. All these things are illegal.
Okay.
Can you mention someone whose letter has been backdated? Let's tell me that this person's letter.
Okay.
Yep. Evidence.
No,
you can't just make allegations.
I have given you an institution. There was a point in time that people notices were posted. You receive message on your phone that you've been posted. You go to the region. It really happened in the Greater Accra region. The region will tell you they gave us a quota. At the end of the day, when you people saw you've lost power, you started posting these nurses, knowing there's no money. You know, at the end of by November, every ministry and department who are paid by Controller and Accountant General present the number of workers they have.
Okay.
After they present it in November, December, the ministry will work based on the number, and the government will plan towards that. So in January, if you give appointment, how would the ministry get money to pay?
He's saying there's no money. There's no money. So but we're employing people.
Yeah.
Now from January, that the president was sworn into March.
Yeah.
We know the president is coming to the finance minister is coming to a budget.
Yeah.
And this budget we focus on jobs. Because John Mahama came for the and then one thing I recommend him about is the creation of the youth empowerment ministry. It's about youth.
The youth.
It's about youth. Anything that will help the youth. I'm very happy.
Okay.
I'm very happy with that.
All right.
There's no money. There's no money. There's no money. We are expecting the 24-hour economy as well. So from these 3 months, I don't know what they're going to rely on to employ workers. To employ workers for them to work for the 3 shifts, because there's still no money. I don't know if now. I don't know. Let me
allow you to land.
I don't know if now they've got money from somewhere.
Okay.
Because fine, that's what I'm saying. Our tax net that they think they're going to rely on.
Yeah.
And even at ports, it was even there was some waivers. There was some tax at ports.
Okay.
Yeah, we're expecting all those things
to happen.
To happen. That there should be some waivers, some tax waivers at ports also, at our ports also. So we are expecting all these things to scrap the e-levy, all those taxes, betting tax and other things. But when we are still saying, that's why I don't want them to say there's no money, 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 there's no money. But we still want the youth to work.
Okay.
And we are going to employ the same people.
Yeah.
Within this first 3 months, fine. People within the first 3 months, you haven't started anything because you haven't read any budget. So we give you the benefit of the doubt that yes, fine. But after the budget, we are expecting the 24-hour economy to start.
Okay.
There's no money. What can I now say? Now we all understand that we've all come to one conclusion that truly there's no money.
Okay.
There's no money. There's no money. You tell us the taxes. Whatever you say, taxes. Some of them will tell you that Operation Recover All Loot. Which they know that Operation Recover All Loot in Pono. Even they're all allegations. For me, for now, I'll say they're all allegations because no one has been sent to court.
Okay.
And has been proved guilty.
Okay.
Whether NSS, whether Keno Furata, whether whoever, no one has been sent to court and has been proved guilty.
So it's just
allegations until the court proves them guilty. And even if you say you want to recover those loot, and those people to bring money into the system for you to employ people, remember that those things will pass through legal process.
Okay.
The oral is not backed by the constitution.
Okay.
The oral, you know,
just interjected, but you are using about 5 minutes for the interjection.
The oral is not.
The issue is if you have nothing to say, because your government have failed, you find it difficult to defend. Do you know what?
Am I defending?
When we talk about creating jobs, NDC is going to empower the private sector.
Okay.
We are not saying government is going to
empower them with money.
I'm coming. 24-hour economy. We are going to give them reduction in what do you call it?
Taxes and all that.
Not really taxes, but electricity bills that they pay every month. Those companies that are going to sign on to 24-hour economy are going to give special treatment.
As we don't have money, the economy,
the problem that is what you don't understand. The MPP as a party, most of them doesn't understand the basic economics. Economics is not about books. If you can be a very good reader of economic books, but you may not be a very good solution giver when it comes to economic issues.
Okay.
What NDC is going to do is that through the 24-hour economy, we are going to empower private companies to do more
with money.
Empowerment does not mean giving them fiscal money.
But resources, but they only resources. How are you going to empower them?
Let's make it point.
As I said, one of the biggest expenditure even this radio station will be having is the electricity bills. So if this radio station, for instance, have other companies or auxiliary companies that you are going to subsidize their electricity bills, that let's say for instance you are paying 100 cedis every month, because you have signed up 24-hour economy, we are saying now you are paying, let's say 70, taking off that 30, because you are going to run 3 shifts, you are going to employ more, and as you employ more, those you employ will pay tax.
Okay.
So to increase the tax wave of a country does not only come with the government sector. Okay. When private sector is able to employ more, they also pay more to government.
Okay.
You get it. So what we mean is, the Ghana we are having today will not be the same.
Okay.
By the end of 2025, by 2026, by 2027, and by 2028, when NDC is flying to its second term, I'm telling you, this government is serious. He's serious for business. Even looking at the appointment he's made, giving the young people the chance to serve under this government, it's a sign that this government is serious.
It's a sign that this government is serious.
It's not about. When talk about giving,
I'm giving you just one.
Giving young people a chance. Giving young people a chance. The president and the Kufuor did the same thing. We saw John Kuma, who was less than 40 years, as a CEO. We saw Kusha Bin as a CEO. Pius Hadnam, Hifotian. They were all young chaps. Who were all working. Pius was a minister. The sports minister.
You can just count them. This government, you can't count the youth.
Please. We saw many. We saw many of them. We saw many of them who were young and working. Even our own JF, Justin Kodua, was also a CEO.
40 seconds gone.
Yeah, also a CEO. But let me tell you one thing. Before you employ those that for the 3 shifts, you have to have a budget for it before. You just can't come out and say you have the 3 shifts and they will pay taxes and they will receive salaries. Have that in mind that not just taxes but they will receive salaries for these 3 shifts. He's talking about electricity tariff. Yeah, you reduce the tariff for them.
Your time is up.
But what was saying about the electricity tariffs, like in your situation like this, that the tariffs during night, I don't even run 24 economy during the night, the tariffs should be down so that you can work harder. For now, even ECG, we have debts. We have not finished with the debts that we are owing. For now, not we owe ECG. Ghana, don't we? ECG, the energy sector.
These debts were accrued by which government?
That I'm saying.
Just answer me.
By our government.
Okay.
No, excuse me. Just let me bring that point. Then they see also left debt in the energy sector. 10 million. That's what I'm saying. Value for money in 2016 or 2013 only the same thing. And then there was $2.1 billion. That they left, and we left 3 billion. Just that the dollar rate has just changed. So you give them, you reduce electricity for them and everything. Wow, there's no money. That's what I'm saying. There's no money. How are they going to do it? You say you start giving them, you start relieving them that tariffs. You start relieving them from that high bills before they will start working. It's not that. It's not that.
You think it's going to affect them in any way? Or?
Yeah, unless they tell us they are getting money from here to do it. That's what I'm saying. This budget, if they can place budget on all of this. Then Ghana, you never hear Musa.
Okay. Let me allow. But the problem I'm having is we are saying that if you go to the American economy, the American economy is a pure capitalist economy. Those running the American economy is not the government. They are the private people who have open companies. So what the NDC government is doing is we are moving away from government employing everybody, where we are going to empower the private sector to do more employment, so that government can get more taxes.
Empowering them meaning resources. You can't just empower them with your mouth. You can't empower the private sector.
We are going to help
them with resources.
Export.
So now, if Ghana, how can you empower the private sector with your mouth?
Let him finish. He's made his point that the NDC is going to empower the private sector. So what you have a problem with is how they are going to do that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The budget reading is coming just next week. And afterwards we will be here again, afterwards. And we will you have all the questions to ask.
If the budget covers all these things, then the president came to lie at the parliament.
No.
So you as I said,
budgets are not money. But host, what I want my brother to understand. Budgets are proposals. That is why even in budget we have something we call supplementary budget. The essence of supplementary budget is that when government proposes, it might be by the time the target he set for himself, he might not achieve. So he going in for supplementary budget to get other source of fund to finance some of the projects. So what I'm telling my brother is that NDC is in for the private sector. We are in to grow the private sector. We are going to promote more export, and by 2028. Ghana will turn paradise, and NDC is going to have our second term in government.
Their second term in government. This is us on Ghana Talks Radio. This Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Let us hear from you in our comment section and all our social media platforms. Get interactive. Mr. Adai and the Star Boy, they are here making some submissions that I think will interest your own self. Moving on to the next topic, and with this topic, I want us to be very brief on it.
Yeah.
Last 2 days, the Forestry Commission came out with a directive that they are unemploying some people. Mr. Adai, and this one I really want. What is it with your new administration with all these sack, just terminating? You know your president has our president.
Yes.
From your party, is now being called Terminator.
Yes.
He's just terminating appointments.
Sometimes the Terminator need to terminate.
What does that mean?
Yes. If people's certificate, year of completion, and the day they are given an appointment and national service does not match, how do you allow that person to work?
So
if somebody have an appointment last year, and per the year he completed his first degree, and the time he have his national service does not match, so you cannot be employed while you are doing your service. When people who were employed on NAPCO, and we know they were they were forest, some of them were same as forest guys. Even in 2024, as November, they were not employed. Just after election, they were given appointment. What do you want to happen? As I told you, government work with plan and budget. Every year, before every fiscal year, ministries and departments present the number of workers under them. Not just the number, with their salary grades. So the central bank and the finance minister will look at the list with their salary grades to work a budget out for that ministry or department. So if at the end of the day people are added up to that ministry or department without due course, how do you want the government to pay them?
So the reason why the Forestry Commission is laying them off is because
they didn't go through the due process.
Did the ministry state that emphatically? Yes, they did.
They did.
No, because I have the directive.
Listen, no, the directive is there, but the integrity of the directive, if you want to have it, you can get that one.
Where can I get that?
Go to the ministry. Write information, and you get it.
All right.
So they are not laying off people who went through due process, who were recruited 2022, 2023. People were recruited 2022. People were recruited 2023. None of them have been touched. But those who have been laid off are people who were recruited January 1st, January 2nd, December 8th, December 7th. Even the election day, people were recruited. This is serious. So what I'm saying is, it's good you have recruitment. Nobody's against that, but the issue is, did you go through the right procedure? As we speak, we have teachers who have been given appointment letter, headquarters November, regional office December. The headquarters gave them the appointment, backdated November, but the letter they got from region is December. So which of these two letters are we using for your salary? So these are things that
justification of
politicians, not just MPP, both MPP and NDC, we should learn. If you have a way of recruiting your members, recruit them early. Don't wait till last minute. But have you forgotten what Osaf Mafo said?
It's fine.
Osaf Mafo said it.
We get you.
He have a way of taking them off.
So you've also found...
We are not finding a way, but for us, we are being sincere to Ghanaians. We will not find the lazy way of laying people off, but we'll let people know your recruitment is not right. The fact that you have been laid off doesn't mean you are totally off the system. But what we are saying is, soon government will open the door. Enter again, and if you have the right qualification, you don't fear, you will get it.
Star.
Yeah, my brother, thank you very much. You know one thing, when the president wanted to terminate the appointment of those that received their letters after 7th December, the chief of staff came out and made it clear. I read this about the forestry ministry.
Yeah. We are in shadows.
We are shadows. We don't know what's happening. If truly it's about those who received their appointment letters after,
yeah,
or those who are not properly recruited, he would have made a submission in his report.
In the report, okay.
He will not tell us to come to the ministry for information. No, I don't think like you.
I am saying that is it. But I'm telling my brother, if you really need more information, yes,
that shouldn't be the right thing.
Sure,
that shouldn't be the right thing. It's not the meaning. They're not being fair to us.
Okay.
Because when you want to terminate the contracts of those who received the letters after 7th December, you made it clear. Okay. For Ghanaians to understand why.
But with this one, there's nothing. So we don't really know.
We don't really know the basis. We don't really know the basis.
Okay.
We don't really know. For me, I don't know the basis. Okay. But my brother will tell me I should go to the ministry. If I really want the information, I should go to the ministries. Oh. Which is very. You see, listen, we are setting a precedent that might hurt the country.
In what way?
This very one that we are sacking people from the forestry ministry. Yeah. We are setting a precedent.
Okay.
It might affect us in the coming years.
Okay.
And NDC should.
So are you saying that if your party should also assume power in the coming future, you're also going to lay people off?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying what the NDC is doing is very wrong.
Okay.
And it will be better if all Ghanaians will come out.
Okay.
Journalists, the media, all media personnel, everybody, the labor union, everybody should come out to condemn it.
Okay.
But else, to be a president, that will be there. That will start hurting the youth of this country.
Okay. Okay.
It's something bad. We shouldn't entertain it. We shouldn't encourage it. Well, it's something that was that will affect us.
But then, before we move on from this particular subject, we are looking at it from these two angles. Now we are fighting unemployment. You come to power, you lay people off. But then also we are looking at an illegality that you've recruited these people based on some illegal procedures. So which one should we encourage and which one should we discourage?
For now, I'm saying about the forestry issue, I don't know the basis on which they are being sacked.
Okay.
So I cannot say I'm not seeing any illegality there.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen the basis.
The basis, okay.
Maybe they weren't on government payroll, or maybe they were doing. Maybe they are this. No, nothing.
But in all, I mean, this is not the only termination we've seen. So with all the recent terminations we've seen, looking at the illegalities around it,
like I said, we have some of the jobs like the teachers and the nurses. Some of them, before you can even employ them or recruit them, they have to go through certain processes.
So if they didn't go through and they are being laid off, you support that?
Yeah, I support that.
Okay.
But if we have them, because I have one woman in my area, she's a nurse. She started the process in the middle of the year.
Okay.
Before receiving her letter.
When did she receive her letter?
After 7. But she started her clearance. She has to go through clearances, other things. But
how long should the clearance?
I don't know, but she started in the middle of the year.
Okay.
That's what she told me.
Okay.
In the middle of the year, she's not an MPP member.
Okay.
But do you know one problem?
She's not an MPP member. That's one thing. That's one thing we should know. That she's not an MPP member.
Okay.
And those that we are laying off, we are laying off are also not MPP members.
Okay.
They are Ghanaians. That one jobs.
Sure.
They are Ghanaians. That one jobs.
Okay.
So the way you were saying that they will find a way to even if you draw a budget, it's a proposal, but they will find a way to even pay their salaries. I was thinking even John Mahama will encourage this youth employment that's there, then they will even find a way to recruit them and pay them.
Okay.
Now it's talking about having a portal. They open a portal again for everybody to employ.
Okay.
For everybody
to go through the right procedure. But isn't that the right thing to do?
So you're not trying to tell that the next thing that we need to open a portal for them.
Okay.
There's a portal for this. If most of them when the portal come out, they can call me. Okay. Oh, Starboy, if you portal, no, can you assist me so that I can?
No, okay.
Yeah, there's a portal.
That's fine.
You can't just recruit them. You can't just be at home and you just receive a letter that you go work as a nurse or go work as a teacher. Okay. No. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Yeah, he knows that it doesn't work that way. That just be in your house and they give you a letter, you just go work as a teacher.
So
just go work
you think they are just on an agenda?
Agenda. That's what I'm saying. Some of these things
it will set a
bad precedent.
Okay.
And even the chaoses that happen. some of the chaos that happened after election.
Okay. We wouldn't get into that.
But
let's
you
stick
know
to the
one
subject
thing, the fear. I was speaking to one of them last week. I was helping one of them out.
I'm coming. Are you done with your submission?
I'm done about the forestry.
Okay, good.
One
so
of them
I'm
told
only
me
giving
he
you
paid,
1 minute.
he paid 10,000
Okay.
for that recruitment.
Okay.
What I would open the phone lines and ask those who have been sacked if they will be sincere. The amount of money they pay to people, Massa, LPP is talking because some of them have received some money. They collected some money from these young guys, and they are coming after them for their money.
So you think the
it's
NPP's
not just it's not just
outcry is not genuine. It's just because there's fire beneath their.
If the amount of money, the amount of money
you come in,
the amount of money, some paid, some pay as high as 15,000.
Okay.
For GES.
Okay.
You know, some nurses, they've not posted their year group, but people collected money from them and posted them. We should not get there.
So
all these things are illegalities in the system.
Excuse me. So
because we have year groups that they post. Nursing.
Excuse me.
But with this forestry one.
What I'm telling you is the forestry.
Yeah.
I don't know whether my brother is in the government sector. If he is, have he been sacked? No. Because he was recruited maybe 2020, 2020, 2019, 2018. What I'm saying is, all the issue about sacking is about whether wrong appointment or people not giving the right.
If it's wrong, the MD or the CEO or whatever is in charge, let us know. With the forestry, we still don't know the basis.
But the question is, have you heard any of
the still don't know the basis
coming out to say?
We still don't know the basis. So until we know the basis,
we can't.
Until we know the basis, we will say that what he did is very wrong.
Okay.
What the government did, until we know the basis,
that's fair.
It's very wrong.
That's fair.
And I'm telling you, the NDC government believe in the constitution.
And this president we are setting,
we wrote the 1992 constitution. We understand it. We will not do anything against that constitution. So we are doing the right thing. And anybody who was not recruited through the right means will find a way of getting that person off and bring the right people to come and work.
Okay, that's fine. Point well made, point well received. The true state of the nation address. With this one, I would want Paul. I want you to say something. You presented your true state of the nation address last Monday.
Yes.
The true state of the nation address. So what does that make the president's sooner?
The president came to parliament just to lament and shift blames.
Okay.
About the state of the nation.
Okay.
He didn't come to address us properly.
What are some of the things that you were expecting the president to address then? That
one, the first thing that I was even expecting him to address was about even the chaoses that happened after the election.
Okay.
Some of the things that happened after elections that even made people even lost their lives.
Okay.
Look at what happened at AGA. That people lost their lives. People were burning ties all over some constituencies just because the president has won election. Just because Dr. Bawumia came out early to congratulate the president and also forget about that one. If Okaso we've seen other countries where people have lost election and then they still say like I won't agree. No, it's not about Ghanaians are not ready. But he has discipline. He's very disciplined.
Okay.
Dr. Bawumia is very disciplined and he has earned a lot of respect from Ghanaians.
Okay.
From that thing that he did.
Yeah.
We were here when John Mahama lost over 1 million votes. But it took him about 3 to 4 days before he came to even congratulate the president in 2016.
Okay.
It took about 2 to 3 days before he even came out.
The worst performance ever. 30.
Is it a lie? John Mahama, it was also over 1 million votes.
Okay.
But
John Mahama also lost. It's not about it's not about the percentage wise or whatever. What Dr. Bawumia did, is what you are saying, he did very, very well.
Okay.
Now on the next day, after the election, on Saturday,
he just
Sunday morning, just to the defeat.
Okay.
John Mahama, he lost with over 1 million votes, but it took about 2-3 days.
Now, sticking
to
the.
So now about this, you are making noise about the economy. You left us economy, but you ate the meat to the bone. But we came and we were able to implement fees near high.
Okay.
We were able to implement fees near high. Now we almost about 3.1 billion or 3.5 billion youth has benefited from the free senior high.
Wait, I'm coming. Let's get your figure right. 3.5
billion. No, almost about 3.1 or 3.5 billion.
Billion.
Yeah.
Million.
Sorry, million.
Okay.
Sorry, million. Million have benefited from the beneficiaries of the free SHS.
Okay. So it's no more 5.2 million. It's 3 point.
It's 3. It's 3 point. It's 3 over 3 point. Yeah.
So the 5.2 that you earlier projected, where was it from?
I don't know, but I'm stating what I know.
Well, you know. Okay.
I'm stating what I know.
That's fine. That's
fair. We were here. You ate the meat to the bone. You came, restored teachers' training allowances.
Okay.
You are here lamenting as if when you were in power and you were leaving power, everything was all right. As if when you no. So let me come. You left an economy where even to buy chalks, buying chalks to even teach, buying chalks, you left an economy where even providing chalks for teachers to teach in the classroom was a problem. But this government came, this government came, provided them with a marker board. Right, all those schools with marker board. We came inside President Free Senior High School, also free TVET for our youth. We came, you left an economy. Now you ate the meat to the bone. But now this government came and was able to waive taxes for doctors and nurses.
Okay.
Yeah, import duties, taxes on import duties for doctors and nurses.
Okay.
We came, have successfully did many beds. You couldn't even mention one.
Okay.
Look at the number of roads, the kilometers of roads this government did. About 12,000 kilometers of roads.
12,000.
Yeah, kilometers of roads.
Okay.
This guy, yeah, but he couldn't. No, he knows it.
Okay.
Even the road from the station to this station is not.
The fact that we are developing a nation.
Yeah.
We are developing a nation.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've constructed about 12,000 kilometers of road doesn't mean we've done all the roads in Ghana. Okay. When you were leaving power, in your green book, what wasn't there? What didn't you say in your green book? That you've even made a road from a bridge to be quiet. Matipegu read that thing on TV3 that they've constructed a road from a bridge to Bekwai. Meanwhile, there's nothing like a bridge to Bekwai. There's no. I don't know if there's a road that links from a bridge to Bekwai. I don't know. But Matipegu made that clearly on TV3. He was reading from the Green Book.
Okay.
That a road from a bridge to Bekwai, which was very wrong.
Oh, okay.
That is one chapter.
Okay.
He read on TV3. I can give you the video.
Okay.
I can give you the video. You can check on X. Okay. Just type Matipegu. Go to X right now. Type it on X, and you will get the video there.
Okay.
What he was reading from the Green Book.
Okay.
You left an economy. Oh, you left all this economy. This government came, and then we absorbed the payment of the BEC and WASI registration fees.
Okay.
We absorbed all those things to relieve some to relieve some burdens on the parents of Ghanaians. Yeah, we did all these things. You are still lamenting as if when you were in power.
So the true state of the nation's address, what exactly were you addressing to the people? What did you want to communicate to the people?
We are addressing the people that what he left and what we did. In fact, we faced some global crisis, which he didn't. Which that government never faced any global. See, listen, we went to IMF. We went to IMF.
Yeah.
Based on what external factors. The IMF was made clear that external factors that led us to go to the IMF for loan.
Okay.
And during their time also, they also went to the IMF without any external global crisis.
Really?
They went there just because of economic mismanagement. But now you are here blaming shifts, making noise, a lot of noises.
In regards to that IMF thing, I remember clearly that when you took over in 2017, the IMF program which the NDC went in for was about ending.
Yeah.
But you came in, even after criticizing it, extended it.
That's why I said after the global crisis, we were able to save lives. That was our main priority.
When did you extend? When did you extend it? When was it supposed to end, and when was the extension?
Because we went to IMF after the global crisis.
Really?
Yeah, we went after the global crisis. After the global crisis, that's when we went to the IMF.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
and you went to the IMF even after your finance minister then has swore that we weren't going to.
That's why I'm saying during the global crisis, the president made it clear that no, Ken, Ghanaians' lives are very important.
Okay.
Let's try and save lives.
Okay.
Let's try and save lives. But the economy, after everything, after you have the people, because even if people die, later the economy is stable. Who are you going to rule?
Okay.
So let's try and save lives.
Okay. That's
we were here. We inherited an economy where teachers worked for years, and then you pay them only 3 months salary. We were able to pay teachers. We didn't owe them any salary. When we were leaving government, all caterers for feeding, school feeding, have been paid.
Really?
Yeah, I can say that the minorities have made it clear in parliament. Like caterers have been paid. Have been paid.
So you left no arrears.
We left no arrears. That's the minority that made it clear in parliament. The president was there.
Okay.
The president was there.
So the government wasn't owing any sector before leaving power.
I didn't say we weren't owing any sector. We were owing some sectors.
No, I mean in terms of salary.
Salary, I don't know unless maybe they come out, because with salary of teachers, nurses, we are finding difficulty in paying them. Maybe some were crying about some allowances and other things.
Okay.
We are hearing them crying about some allowances and other things. But with salaries, we left an economy where fuel was in shortage. Okay. Then your economy that you left.
I wouldn't want us to get into this because that's why we voted.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you are also this no come and lament, because you are also coming. You also keep doing the same thing.
So the president's sona last week was just a lamentation.
Lamentation. Okay. A shifting blames.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why you presented a true state of the nation.
This was what you left. This is what we came to do. This is what we came to do.
So by your true state of the nation, the president's own, which, as you say, was lamentation and that the economy was in bad shape and all. What would you say your true state of the nation speaks of the economy? Is it that the economy is in good shape?
The economy, if the economy is bad.
No, is it that it's in good shape?
The economy, even the president, the vice president himself, at a certain point in time, even said that truly, the economy, the Ghanaians are in high times. At a point in time, after the global crisis.
Okay.
They made it clear that Ghanaians are in high time. Ghana is in hard times. So I'm not the one. Say, if price of fuel go highs, I pick a car, I pick Uber, I pick everything. So I also experience this. Now this doomsaw is here, and then you cannot hide it. Doomsaw is in, and you cannot hide it.
Doomsaw is back.
Yesterday I was at Dachi FM. They were buying fuel for their plants.
Okay, and so this doomsaw that is back. Will you say it's a very back end of the NDC's mismanagement?
We inherited a doomsaw economy from them, and then we came and then kept the lights on for 8 years, and then we are here now, and the doomsaw is back, and then we are blaming it on the gas pipeline and other things.
So in the space of 2 weeks, 2 months, and then 1 week.
Yes.
You think the NDC has been so poor and abysmal that they've brought doomsaw back?
They've brought doomsaw back, my brother. They've brought doomsaw back. And then he's blaming it on the gas pipeline.
But I thought they were working under your budget.
They were working under our budget, but the president made it clear that with the gas pipeline and other things, he himself is solving that one.
He himself.
Yeah, he made it clear that himself is solving that one.
The gas pipeline maintenance is actually a factor when it comes to all these.
It was a factor, but we were still keeping, although it was a factor, although the gas pipeline was encountering fault. But we were still keeping the lights on. That's one thing you should know.
Okay, now you know we owe Asogli.
Yeah, we owe Asogli.
We owe car power.
We owe car power. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When did this?
We owe Asogli. We owe car power. During the previous government era. But we were having negotiations with them on how to pay. In 2024, you can read it there. In 2024 November, we were having a plan on how to pay.
But did you pay?
We are paying it gradually, but we didn't pay. Or we didn't pay. No, excuse me. The plan. Okay. We had this thing with them, an agreement with them. The agreement was not like pay all on this day.
Okay.
So we are paying them on installment basis weekly, and that was the agreement. You can read it. Yeah, Asogli, it's there.
And
last year November,
because the recent shutdown is mainly
you know government has changed, and then what we agreed with them, maybe they will also try to have a different agreement with, so they will come out in, as I'm saying, 2024 November.
So how then do we blame the NDC for the doomsaw now?
for the doomsday now, what we were doing to keep the power on, they should do the same thing. Or they should pay what we. That's what I'm saying. We're negotiating with the Sogli and the rest on how to pay the debts, and then it's not like you didn't leave debt in the ACG when you're leaving. It's not like how much did they leave? They left 10 million, and I said value for money wouldn't be the same. That's why I always say value for money. Then in dollars it was 2 billion.
Okay.
And then ours is 3 billion, but value for money would never be the same.
How much did you leave?
70. That's
so
the value.
10 to 70.
Value for money won't be the same.
So you think that the 60 billion difference is just because of value for money?
And then you know,
it's just because of value for money.
No, not because of value for money. I know nobody will be okay with debt.
Okay.
Nobody, me here. If I'm owing somebody, I also feel a little bit. Okay, I'm not okay with that.
All right.
You get it? I'm not okay with debt. Nobody, there's no human being in this country that we can be actually the cabat. We all don't like to be owing.
Okay.
Now and then we should be honest.
Okay.
We all don't, but like we are having agreement with all these people.
Okay.
All these IPPs on how to plan. So that we can. As we are going to elections, do you think the elections? We are thinking we are not going to win the elections. We are also thinking we are also going to win the elections.
Okay.
But unfortunately we lost.
Okay.
So like if we won, we will still have kept the power on.
Okay.
If we won the elections, all those people they are laying them off, they will still be working and we will still be paying them. So if we won the elections, all those people they are laying them, all the workers. If the MPP won the elections, all the workers they are laying them off, the MPP will be able to pay them.
Okay.
If we won the elections, the lights, the duty that has come, MPP will be able to keep the lights on. Okay. Because we are also going to elections with the aim of winning, with the objective of winning the elections. We weren't going to this election with an ambition to lose. We're going because we know we're going to win. And if we win, I said because we lost, no.
Okay. So in a nutshell, your true state of the nation, and this I want you to just answer. I don't want a statement. I just need a yes or no. In a nutshell, the true state of the nation presented by the NPP, does it speak of the economy doing well in retaliation to what the president said that the economy was in a bad comosis?
The economy was doing well as compared to other countries.
Okay, fine.
As compared to other countries in Africa here.
Okay,
or in Sub-Saharan here.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Because teachers were not owing salaries. Nobody was owing. We weren't owing anybody's salaries.
Okay.
We were still doing everything. We were still everything. Every government policies or projects were still going on. Roads were still under construction. Everything was still going. Everything was still going. Was still under construction. That agenda 111. I just want to say one thing.
But
you mentioned it.
I mean, but so even that one was.
The agenda 111. They were saying it's a failure. They were saying agenda 111 is a failure. Then you see guys are making claims that agenda 111 is a failure.
We'll come there.
Oh, just a minute and let me end it. Let me take the time. The agenda 111. The agenda 111. Then you see guys were saying it's a failure. And certain times when I hear them say, because on 16th March, no 15th March, January, 15th January, sorry, 2023, no 2023.
Okay.
John Mahama made it clear that agenda 111 is a scam.
Okay.
It's a scam.
Okay.
That we've only just cut sword for it. It's a scam.
Okay.
Nothing will happen.
Okay.
But now he's saying he needs about $1.7 billion to complete it. Meaning it's never a scam, but it's a project that was ongoing. Fine, we couldn't finish it. But so we couldn't finish it. Then they see are calling the agenda 111 a failure because the MPP couldn't finish the agenda 111. Okay. If that's the case, then the E-blocks that John Mahama promised also, he couldn't finish constructing all the E-blocks. So if that's the case, then you also consider the E-blocks as a failure.
So it's more of equalization now.
It's not
about taking responsibility.
We are developing a country.
It's about
developing a country. What about Waso? But don't call it a failure.
Okay.
We are developing a country. Okay. So don't call it a failure.
Okay, that's
continue with the project. Okay. But don't stand somewhere and call it a failure. Okay. If that is so, then mean all projects that you couldn't finish your tenure are also failures. But we are developing a country.
You see, he actually, after saying that, he addressed the agenda 111 that he is working to complete. You heard that? Okay.
Yeah, so
but did the NPP ever mention any completion of the E-blocks that the NDC left?
The E-blocks. Do you know one thing about the E-blocks?
Did they mention?
No, we didn't mention about E-blocks. Okay. But one thing about E-blocks is that we were like, no, there are more schools there.
There are more schools.
We have schools in this country. That instead of building some in addition, we build some schools in addition. But why don't we add some facilities?
You build schools?
Oh, we built some TVET schools and
no, we are talking about SHS.
If we didn't build, we added buildings. Like let's say to accommodate most of the students.
Really?
So
why are they running?
Why attended school in St. Thomas Aquinas? In my school, we have another buildings. The shift was there. The shift began in our first year. But right now, some schools are still not running shift because if you're able to add more resources to the schools, more buildings and more other things. Please, and then 111 will forever be the legacy of the president. 111 hospitals will forever be the legacy of the president.
That's fine.
So unya samka okasa be the true state of the nation 17 December makasewe.
Okay.
Ghana for atoaba apamu aban no woso no a che ne say enyema na ekoso na nye. And that election no in the history of Ghana ubi lusu that higher margin in that 38%.
Historic. Okay.
If you do one of the MPP,
it's wrong if you align 30%. No.
Okay. Yes, we are talking about
if we align to 30%, it's like we are
promoting.
No, we are not. Yeah, misinformation. We are misinforming our viewers.
Honestly, the EC came out with 42.
So you can sit here and misinform our viewers.
The EC,
our listeners. It's very wrong. It's very wrong. We shouldn't do that.
See, we always go by the official statement of the EC. So if the EC is saying it's 42%,
we shouldn't misinform our viewers.
As the 2016 election still have not been gazetted, figures are not right. The 2016 election,
we understand.
So but they are still using those figures.
We understand.
They are still using. What I'm saying is that
the true state of the nation.
True state of the nation can be passed by Ghanaians and majority of Ghanaians.
Okay.
Not just some listed MPs.
Okay.
Like Steka.
Okay.
Who cry when in opposition. Who is now fighting Chairman Sabonsu for going to constituency and the information gathered in his constituency.
I thought you said you are done talking about the truth.
That's what I'm saying is the true state of the nation was 7 December. Ghanaians have spoken and they are saying the only person who can take Ghana to the promised land is John Dramani Mahama.
It's John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
I
know that's what you want to say.
And Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajamai.
The first is she around?
The first
it's been a while.
Vice President, female Vice President of Ghana.
Okay. But is she around? It's been a while I heard from her.
You hear from her.
It's been a while. It seems she has been
sidelined. In the first 2 years of Baumé, we never heard about him.
Yes,
it is only when the president
we are not on the vice president. Our time is almost out, so let's get into the last topic for the day.
Okay.
The Ghana Gold Board establishment. Earlier on, we looked at the suspension of the gold for oil policy, which Paul made it in relation to the establishment of the gold board. What is the gold board meant for?
Thank you. One important thing we need to know is that when it comes to economy or when it comes to institutions, one important that will help the department of the institution to run is management.
Okay.
Backing with policies.
Okay.
Or backing with laws. Ghana mining started in Ghana before gold came.
Okay.
Because when gather and sell that galamsey started, it wasn't using of machines, but it was just gathering pieces of stones that contain the gold oil to extract the gold and sell.
Okay.
But today, gold have moved from that stage to now the use of machines and etc.
Okay.
Can Ghana really boast of the amount of gold mined in a month? No. Because everybody is selling. And if everybody is selling, what is the effect on the economy? If everybody is selling, meaning some can sell without even paying tax.
Okay.
And one important thing we also need to take notice, when it comes to the mining sector, most of the people doing high bidding in the mining sector are not Ghanaians. Most of these people are foreigners.
Okay.
So if government does not put in proper mechanisms to really manage the gold system, it will come to a point that private individuals will get more money than the government and the country who have the resource. So the need or the reason for having the gold board is one, to refine our gold. When the Akufo-Addo government was in power, I think they were able to establish 1 or 2 gold refineries in Ghana, but none of them is functioning. Why? Because in the buying of gold, the gold is not regulated. I can decide if I mine, I will not sell the gold to government.
Royal gold is functioning.
You come in.
I'm talking about the refineries.
Yes, the refinery. Yes.
No, we are not talking about
you come in.
Individuals selling it there. But what I'm saying is, if these people are really mining and there is no state institution to regulate what they are doing, what will be the effect? So as a country, we need to have the gold board. And the essence of the gold board is not just to sell gold, but to check the quality of gold Ghana send out of the country. And again, to add value, to add value, to add value, to add value.
We get you.
To add value to our gold. The problem Ghana is having as a country is that most of our resources is sent to the foreign land as just a raw material. Nothing is being added to it. So the gold board is not just there to buy the gold, but they also buy and try to add value to our gold. And when you add value to gold, the price of gold increases.
All right. That's
so
fine.
The essence of the gold board, though you may have your own interpretation, we should discard this topic out of political sentiments. If you remember the last time Sami David had the press conference, he was trying to tell Ghanaians the gold board will include this big mining company. It will include even chiefs. If you include buying company, and you know one thing, the gold board is going to even give chance. The same way cocoa board give money out to buy
the cocoa.
The government is also going to give money for people to also buy gold from these smaller companies, and so that the government can get them. So the government is going to make.
How is that going to work?
It's going
to give the money to who to buy.
Cocoa board gives. They go for loans, and they use those loans to buy cocoa beans from companies. So the gold board, the same way, is going to also get money
to buy.
What Sami David said, government himself will be buying some direct, also license some companies to also start buying gold to sell to the government.
But
listen,
that doesn't make any.
It will make sense.
Yes,
reason. The issue is that private individual cannot sell the gold outside Ghana. So, for instance, if your company, if your company is giving that license, meaning you can now go down to the miner in Obuasi, the miner in Takwa, buy the gold, sell it to the government. The government will also go direct, also buy some, because the amount that we may need, government alone cannot provide that money that we need to buy the gold. So the private sector will also be giving that chance. But the only source by which gold can exit the shores of Ghana will be money by the government.
So if I get you right, then it's not like government is going to take some loan and give to some private individual to buy for them. They will actually
facilitate the process for them. And the reason is, even if the private individual is able to buy, because we are going to add value, we are going to add value to the gold you've mined. The government is going to make sure all the gold we buy, we add value before we send. So that the amount we accrue from this selling of gold in the international market, we can have that leverage to really bargain for good prices. Because if you go to the market right now and somebody is selling rotten tomatoes and somebody have a fresh tomatoes, which one of them will you buy? Or if you easily want to cook and you go and somebody is now selling tomatoes where you are now going to grind, put it in the blender and etc., and you have already made tomato paste, which of them will you buy? You buy the tomato paste. So Ghana is now trying to add value to what we have. And all these are going to create employment.
That's fine.
And the issue is, if that comes, If now government is buying the gold, what can we do now? The government can now check Galamsey.
Okay.
Because the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources is going to get a rep on the gold board.
Okay.
And one nice thing, Samit Mfi said that I was happy that the person who will be on the board will either be the minister or a person who is not less than a director in the ministry.
Okay.
It's not any person from the who can just be on the board.
Okay.
So the essence is, if we are saying our water bodies are
being destroyed
by Galamsey, we can control when you have a good board.
Okay.
Because if you don't use the proper means, the government can say I will not buy your gold.
Okay, that's fine.
So in order to regulate, that's what I'm saying, the MPP may have their own way, but what I would say, this thing is a very good idea.
Okay.
That we should all come on board, bring our views, so that Ghana will move ahead. Somebody will say the NDC want the gold board is not for NDC, it's for Ghana.
Okay.
And I know after 30-40 years time, when maybe MPP will come, if they come after 30 years time, some of their sons, and I know by that time, this my brother sitting here will be a big man in the MPP. Maybe he will be appointed as the CEO of the gold board.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too, Mr. Adai. Mr. Malcolm.
CEO, go ahead. 30 years.
The gold board, the gold board, like us is saying, the NDC wants the chance. Is that they will be the one in charge. The amount you will sell it outside, they will regulate it. They will go and sell it there.
Okay.
They will buy it cheaper from you. That's the only thing that they are trying to do.
Okay.
They are trying to make it the way that they will be the only people to be able to sell the gold outside.
But is it a bad thing?
We have good exporters in Ghana here. Not the miners alone. Okay. But we have good exporters in Ghana here.
We've always had this challenge that we have so much resources.
Yeah.
And because we're talking about gold, let's use gold.
Yeah.
But we get so little revenue from it as a country. So don't you think that we using just one access of exportation, which we can actually manage its direct revenue, will help us?
I think we've had resources such as cocoa also. But the cocoa board, NDC time they forget the loss before. This not NDC time they forget the loss before.
Okay.
They forget the loss in the MPP time before. So this is not something new that we are going to say like it's something that's going to bring us something. They're just finding means and ways. No, don't tell me they didn't care loss at cocoa board. That's why opinion and the rest were sent to.
Sure.
For 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a means and ways that they want to find just to be there. So to sell. The gold to outside. Okay. But let's also remember ourselves that we have also some companies who also export gold. So now they cannot buy from our people and then export them to sell.
No, I think that if you study the gold board's outlining functionings well, they are saying that you as a private person
you cannot sell it outside.
Yes,
unless you bring it
to them.
Yeah. So meaning some of them also have to lay their workers off.
Oh no!
How is that?
The money maybe when they sell it outside, the income they get, maybe based on that, that's how maybe they've expanded their institution. Maybe the income you generate from this place will help you expand here and employ more human labor.
Okay.
But maybe for now, you are not going to sell it at the price that you want. The government will determine the price they want to buy for you. What they want to sell, like the cocoa. The government will determine the price they are buying it from you, from the cocoa farmers.
Okay.
We all know this. You know this. The government decides that this cocoa bags they turn 30 million.
Okay.
We are buying the cocoa bag to 20 million or 10 million.
Can I do something with the
kid? So
you come in.
So the government will determine the price they will buy from you.
Okay.
Instead of talking about the refinery, we have the Royal Gold Refinery.
Yeah.
The government has sold about 20% shares in it. Kudos to the previous government. I like how he said that the Kufuor government has established a refinery. Yeah, it's very, very good. And that legacy will also be one of the Kufuor's legacy. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a Ghanaian legacy. It's more of a personal.
It's a Ghanaian legacy. It's a Ghanaian legacy.
Okay.
It's a Ghanaian.
But it will be named after.
Like the feast near high, you know, it's something up in Ghana.
Okay.
But you know, if you mention feast near high,
okay,
everybody will say Kufuor.
Okay. That's fine.
If you mention
the same way we know that the 58 million swimming pool
the cathedral,
also
and then the same way if you mention Doom, so everybody knows just Muhammad.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So if you mention Doom, so
one education,
everybody knows Muhammad.
You come.
So I think this way, when he was saying all these things,
yeah,
we have investors here. He said you bring all of them on board.
Okay.
Now they are also going to sell their gold to them, like the Anglo Wood and the New Mount, Asanko, and the rest. They are also all going to sell their gold to the government. They cannot export them now.
Sure.
They cannot export the gold now, and I'm thinking about them. If only it's not going to affect them.
Okay. Well, in what ways do you think it will affect them?
Maybe the income they make.
Okay.
Well, maybe the income they make. You know.
So you think the government will shorthand them?
Yes.
Transactions.
And maybe to prevent them. Maybe after the corona, maybe they might leave.
Well, okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that me. I'm also thinking about them also.
Yeah.
Although we have to, but let's be clear. Let's be clear here. You have those people there, and they've employed a lot of people. Okay. Then Lord Ashanti was dead, and then the former president came to revive it.
Okay.
Otunfo pleaded with him to revive the Anglo Gold, and then truly he revived it. Yeah. So now they have many workers.
Okay.
You have people dying out of Galamsey and other things.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying this gold board thing.
You really don't see any sense of it.
If they will regulate it well.
Okay. That's fair.
And it will not sack investors also from this country.
Okay.
Because we have to empower the private sector also.
Sure.
After everything, we still have to empower the private sector. I know this good board thing. Scam for do it, you know. It's something we know. Scam for be some JF. Why you tam? Some JF.
I'll not allow my brother to just
some JF. Why this good button. Some JF. Forget everything. Why you tam?
Okay.
But they are not going to regulate everything.
Okay.
Like he was saying, they'll give money to private investors. To private, that they'll go and buy it.
I actually asked him, and he said no. He actually
they facilitate.
Yeah, they'll help them.
Does it mean they'll give them license? They'll give them license,
yes.
Right? To or if want to start buying gold and then selling to it, then you have to come for license from the Mineral Commission or from PMC.
The PMC.
So you have to come to the PMC or the gold board for license.
The gold board is going to be amalgamation of all these state institutions into gold. Okay. The only problem we are having in Ghana is that we have a lot of state institutions all operating around the mining sector.
Okay.
But the gold board, when it comes in, what it's going to do is it's going to bring all these institutions under one board that can be regulated. Because we have an instance, even another time of where the minister of maybe land and natural resources is ready to go to a site to stop Galamsey. You go and meet another state institution have given that person you think you want to arrest license to operate. Now since we have a board,
so now
it's going to be regulated.
So now the question is, how are they going to do that? The facilitating, how are they going to do that?
The facilitation, like how?
Giving license to people to go and buy the gold. Like, it's still the same way. Like the gold, those mining the gold. They came out. They came out recently. Concern gold and with those things, those associations. As a politician, you know. We know the agenda behind it. That concern somebody also coming from one. You be hearing people forming different ones. Ghana Gold, Galamsey people, Ghana small scale. Then people will start forming, creating all those associations. Now you've seen one. Yeah. Ghana small scale mine association, praising that year. Now they are going to get what the value of what they buy.
You have 2 minutes.
Now what they're going to get the value of what they buy. Yeah. They are going now that they're going to have people who go there and buy from them. The people will still buy at cheaper price from them and come and sell to the government at price at the government price. Okay. Yeah, the people there, the people will still go to the villages where they mine
and shorthand them in transactions.
It will still be the same.
Okay.
But just that those who are going to manage them. Okay. This good board thing is an opportunity for Sami Jemfi and his people just to enrich themselves. Okay. It's simple.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you know when
1 minute
when your government ever embezzled, you think every new institution is also there to embezzle.
So you are not.
What I'm saying is the gold board is a very good policy.
Okay.
We need to regulate the gold market.
Okay.
people, how many of the big companies in Ghana are Ghanaian companies? They take our gold, sell it out, and keep their monies in their country.
Okay.
Now that government is going to regulate, is going to help.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, we need to all come together.
Okay.
We need to say no to galamsey.
Okay.
And we need to say good marketing to our gold,
right.
so that Ghana, as the third leading producer of gold in the world, can really stand well and also fight. Like today, South Africa is fighting the US.
Okay.
Can we stand that way? No, because we don't have good management of some sectors.
Okay.
You do know South Africa have good board. South Africa have good board.
20 seconds.
South Africa have good board.
Okay.
And I know with John Dramani Mahama and His Excellency Nana Opoku-Agyeman as leaders of this economy, Ghana is going high.
Ghana
And by
is
2028,
going high.
Ghana will be paradise.
Ghana will be paradise, stated by Mr. Adai Asamoah Peter. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for making time with us on our show. Also to Mr. Entry Paul, known popularly as Star Boy. We will be coming your way same time tomorrow, and this gentleman will be here next week to give you some more exciting and interesting discussions on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is where we leave you.
One can watch them. One jam for set final words.
30 seconds.
Final words.
Final words on
I want to speak to you. Chair offensive for constituency executive member. Offensive side constituency. Santa region. Chair offensive for
okay.
Chair a coupon Adukrum and this for the message say Muminian to Boisier.
Okay.
This is the end on Beba.
Okay.
Omubom be camp one me ye duma. Mumme yenyi entokwa ye nyina ye yin pawfra onso ye ndisi ni. Na mujije se nyina ka ye hu boma. Osono no o mafi bi.
What I want to say is that I will urge every MPP youth to say right now we are in opposition. We need to come together.
Okay.
Come together. More camp we my supporting when no lose election, no winning primaries, so our own campaign, whatever. Let's all come together. Right now, we have a very young, vibrant man coming from the Brno region. Okay. He's called Michael Watson. He's trying to unite everybody, regardless of whoever you support, whether you support Ken, Baumia, whoever. He's trying everything possible to unite all the youth so we can come back and fight for power. Listen, this election, the youth we failed the people because we didn't vote. Majority of the youth didn't vote because the youth wing was dead. Michael Watson is here to revive the national youth wing. Okay. He is here to bring us all together to revive the party, to revive the youth, to help out with resources, all Tesco nights. We should all rally behind him. I'm urging you, we should all rally behind him. He's the grassroots man. He's the voice of the grassroots. Okay. I'm urging everybody to support him. Okay. We all come together and then fight against the NDC and fight against the corruption. We want Ghana world. The NDC are not ready to develop Ghana. Okay. We want Ghana world, and the Ghana has to be in the hands of MPP. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our listeners. Up next is DJ Rock coming your way.